it when you said it, Sean.
You're a great director.
That would have been awesome if we just went live right then.
I did. We're live,
Yeah,
Sean. I did it exactly. I let you do
We're
the
live
countdown.
right now.
We are live.
Yeah.
All right. Quiet, everybody. What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline.
Right now?
Sean, we are live. Guys in the chat, please tell Sean that we are live. I think there's a delay on his computer, a delay in his brain. Sean, we are live right now. Hot Toys Hotline live, episode 48. Here we are, everybody.
Man.
Yeah, episode 48, guys. Can you believe it? Of course, we're going to introduce our amazing panel first, and then we're going to talk about some great stuff tonight. We're going to say what's up to all of our friends in the chat. Thank you so much, as always, guys, waiting before we start. Love to see it. Love to see everybody hanging out before the stream starts. Of course, right next to me, you got my boy, CMB. CMB, it's great to have you here, as always.
Always a pleasure.
And I hope you're doing well.
With a great panel.
Yes, sir. I hope you're doing well. It's great to have you here. People are already saying happy 420. Yeah, and Sean, if you didn't know, we are live. And same one says we are live. So that is a confirmation. We got an official stamp here. We are live, Sean. Moving on to Ryan from Mr. Mom Collectibles. Ryan, it's great to have you here as always. Got some great stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
some stuff that I know you're definitely interested in for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
And then moving on, we have formerly Lane, now I guess known as the Collector Midnight. I told Lane he might be getting a cease and desist from Sean soon. It's a little too close. I think Sean might have legal YouTube grounds. That's a YouTube law is what we call that.
You can contact Boulder and Boulder Inc. We can help you.
He's an evening collector. That's okay.
Hot Toys, so.
That's true. Lane specifically only collects in the evening, so maybe he found a stipulation there. But yeah. Lane, it's great to have you here as always. I hope you're doing well, man.
It's been a long week, but after just Hot Toys deciding to just 1, 2 little, 3 little, 4 little release touch on our face.
Sean, we're live here, Sean. Lane's trying to talk. What are you doing, Sean? Go ahead, Lane, before the dogs rudely interrupted you.
Well, no, it's really great to be here, after last night and everything, having a nice finale to the Mando, which actually prompted me to actually finally get this guy pulled out and get him all set up. I had him in the case a little bit earlier. Nice. And still amazes me this figure, just how much ridiculous amount of stuff that the collector edition comes with that I went, I don't want to display half this stuff. And so I do ask myself every time I've opened this, I kind of went, why didn't I save $45 and just get the regular edition? Because it comes with all the stuff.
It's because it's cool stuff, Lane.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's true.
It's very cool stuff. But it's great to have you here, Lane, and congrats on that purchase. I have that figure as well, and it's pretty awesome. But finally, Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean, how you doing? It's great to have you here as always. Sean's on. Sean, you're muted somehow.
Me, and I'm doing great. And by the way, I am aware that we're going live. Did you mute me?
Actually, Sean, you weren't muted. You're just very delayed.
Can you hear me?
Sean, you might have to go back on your phone. You're very delayed.
Yeah,
you might have to pull out the phone.
Delayed.
Super delayed. You're like in 2025 right now. So you might have to go back on the phone setup.
Back in 2021.
Right. Yeah. We're in a different time zone right now, Sean. So you might have to switch to your phone. But while Sean is getting his setup figured out, we're going to say what's up to everybody in the chat, and we're going to get right into it. First, Misfit Wolf is here. Misfit Wolf says, what's up, fellas? What's up to you, Misfit Wolf? We hope you're doing well. It's great to see you, as always. Awesome to have you here. Of course, my number one hype man, my good friend, Some Guy, is here. He says, welcome to Thursday night with Hot Toys Hotline. Get your popcorn, get your drink, sit back and enjoy the show. Like and subscribe. Let's go. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on this video. I'd very much appreciate it. Insane One is here tonight. We've missed our friend Insane One. Insane One is dropping his signature soon. It's great to have you here as always, Insane One. Always awesome to see you, and it's not a Hot Toys Hotline stream without you. TK is saying must buy all Grogus. Yeah, guys, at this point, I mean, we just have Grogu armies piling up, especially if you've been buying all the Mandos and Ahsoka as well, and the Luke that's coming. There's a lot of Grogus to army build, that's for sure. I hope you're doing well, TK. It's great to have you here as always, my friend. TK is, of course, a moderator in the Star Wars Memorabilia and Lore Discord, so definitely check out the Discord. Links in the description. Balls deep in 6 gals here. He says, soon it will once again be the best day/time of the week. Well, we very much appreciate that, dude. It's great to have you here as always. Thank you so much for sharing in the love of collecting with us. Let's see. We got Eddie Rodriguez, my dude. Eddie Rodriguez says, what's up, guys? What's up, Eddie? Good to see you, bro. As always, always great to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Who else do we got? You already know he's here, but we got Lane Kramer in the chat saying what's up to everybody. Let's see who else we got. Control-Alt-Delete is here. Control-Alt-Delete says, morning all. How's the weather there? Loving this cool Friday rainy morning. Here in Maryland, it's actually pretty nice. About 80 degrees today, so I can't complain. It's nice to have good weather. It's been on and off. We just lost everybody at the same time. That's crazy. It's just a two-man show now. It's just Ryan and I. So
Well, the best of the best holding it down.
True. That's true.
As always.
But Lane's right back with us. And then CMB, man, they all just got EMP'd. Ty is here. My boy Ty is here. Ty says, salutations, collectors. It was weird. Everybody just got dropped at the same time. Ty, I hope you're doing well. It's great to have you here as always. So awesome to see you catch us live. I hope you're doing well. My boy 12-inch Moose Stream is here. 12-inch Moose Stream says, hello, community of collectors. He's saying what's up to everybody. I hope you're doing well. It's great to have you here. Let's see who else we got. We got Ekwan saying happy 420. Yes, everybody, it's 420. I know everybody's ready to celebrate. Not me. I don't partake, but congratulations to you all who are
Light him
celebrating.
if you got him.
Right. Smoke him if you got him. He better be here tonight. He better be here. Smoke him if you got him. Better be here. My boy Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles is here. Great to have you, bro. Always awesome to have you. So glad that you're tuning in. Jeremy and I have been having a lot of fun behind the scenes talking through some figures and stuff. So it's great to have you here, dude. Let's see. We got Carlito in the house. My boy says, evening, everyone. Evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Tremble Dust is here. Tremble Dust says, hey, people. Hello to you, Tremble Dust. I hope you are doing well. It's great to have you here. JB, he couldn't have said it better. He says, hello, fellow Return of the Jedi collectors. Because, you know, us Return of the Jedi collectors are going to be really happy in about 2 weeks, you know. So very fitting indeed. I like that.
Or crying, depending on how many we know we're going to have to be spent, how much we're going to be spending.
That's true. There's going to be a lot of money spent from me, that's for sure. We got 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid in the house. He says, Sideshow's going back to its old ways, taking forever to ship figures that are already released, waiting on Mando Luke, Mando Ahsoka, and Jesse. I actually got my Mando Ahsoka from them. I do have a preparing to ship notice on my Mando Luke. I haven't checked my Jesse. I did get that email about them on the 17th that they were charging, but I'm not sure where mine are right now. We got Boba Fettuccini in the house saying what's up to everybody. I hope you're doing well, Boba. It's great to have you here, bro, as always. Great to see you. CSI is in here. CSI, we love you, dude. Great to see you here, as always. I hope you're doing well. I know you're excited to talk about some of these figures. We got Austin Nicholas in the chat saying, look at these guys. Look at you, dude. It's good to have you here, as always. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for gracing the chat tonight. We very much appreciate it. Let's see. Eclectic Collector is here. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, Eclectic. I hope you're doing well. I don't think I missed anybody. Let me scroll down. We got Collecting Madness in the chat. He will be joining us shortly. The panel has been purged. I love it, dude. Yeah, everybody dropped at the same time. But, guys, on that note, we're going to get right into it. Since we have so much to talk about tonight, guys, we might as well get right into something very recent. And that's Cyborg. Well, shout out to Matt and Brita, kind of around the same time in the Hot Toys Hotline chat this morning. They're like, looks like people are getting their texts in Hong Kong that they could pick up their Cyborg. And I said to Matt, I'm like, don't give us hope. And then Sean put in a joke. He said, don't give us hope. You know, he dropped that meme. But I'm happy to say that Matt and Brita were right, because here he is, guys. And I will say, first reaction to this figure, I think he looks fantastic. And this is one of those figures, right, that Hot Toys knew, and it's not that they always nail figures that take forever to release, but for this one, I think they knew, like, they're going to be put on the chopping block so quickly if they didn't get this figure right. And honestly, I think he looks fantastic. I love the details. And first, I want to start with, guys, for those of you that don't know, this is not die cast. This is sculpted plastic. But I think the details and all the different hammered kind of patterns in the armor, it just looks absolutely fantastic. And not only that, our exposed portion of Victor Stone's face here, I think, looks absolutely fantastic as well. I think they did a great job on this piece overall. When I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is very, very close to the prototype. And that's really what we love to see. You know, oftentimes we talk about degradation from the prototype to the final product. And I don't see a lot of that here. And Ryan, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this figure because I know you were really excited this morning as well when we saw this news. What are your thoughts on the Cyborg figure finally seeing the final product photos?
Yeah, I have it on. I have it paid off. Paid it off for a while actually on Sideshow. So I'm really hoping that I get my email like inbound in a couple days and 10 days or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm pumped for it. I mean, like I said, I'm doing a makeshift Justice League like everybody else. It looks fantastic. I mean, I haven't looked at anything aside from the blogger photos. I haven't looked at an unboxing. Just kind of scrolled through and saw some in-hand pictures. But I mean, for me, I don't think the sculpt lost anything. I thought the prototype was pretty damn good. Thought it was like a 9, if not more. It looks exactly like it, and I don't think that the production lost, and which is really great. And I think it's really cool. Excuse me, sorry, my voice is. But the fact that you only have like half a face, just like how we talk about like the RoboCop, the DX09 Batman. Well, you have like 3/4 of the face. They only have a certain amount of space to play to nail that likeness. And it can be really hit or miss. And so like for here, it looks dead on. Like it looks spot on to me. Like I personally don't have any issues with it that I would say I wish they would change that. I wish it looks beautiful. I can't wait to get this. And it's also a pretty good price. It's still one of those figures that I think, what is he like 260, 280, I think,
so he's a little bit more than that. I think
no, he's 315. No, he's
yeah.
315. He's 315. I use coupons and rewards on him, so I got him down like below like 250. So I got a really good deal for him, and I have it paid off. So I'm really looking forward to this one. But it's really crazy because I'm really interested to see if he's going to sit or if now that he's out, he's actually going to pick up in sales, especially for those Zack Snyder Justice League fans who the Snyder cut just shows how crucial of a part he was in the movie versus the theatrical, which put him to the side. And so that just gave more of an appreciation to the figure, the character. And so I was totally stoked to get this. I'm not even upset that it's die cast or not, to be honest with you. I don't even care. I'm just so excited to get this one in hand. So I got it from Sideshow, waiting for my email, and yeah, I'll be happy about it.
Yeah, well said. And I agree with this one. Obviously, it would have been cool in diecast, but it's such a complex design. That's probably why they decided to go the plastic route. And I'm cool with that because I think the way it's painted, it looks like metal, and I think it looks fantastic. I think they absolutely nailed it. Real quick, we have some people who have joined us in the chat. I want to say what's up. Of course, Big Dog Pound is here saying what's up to everybody. We got to give Big Dog Pound the big woo! Sorry, Big Dog Pound. Chris is not here yet, so we can't have him bust out the belt. But it's great to have you here as always. I hope you're doing well. Who else popped in here? Sluggin16 is here. He says, good afternoon, Hotline crew and fellow collectors. Hope you're doing well. I don't know why Little Kylo Ren Collects is here. I don't know why they're saying free Little Kylo Ren. I don't know what happened there. You guys will have to bring me up to speed there. Tremble Dust says, my question is, are the arms double or single jointed? I actually don't know. I do have a review that we're going to take a look at, a very brief review, and we're going to find out together because I didn't want to spoil it myself. And yes, Matt is saying the Justice League released in November of 2017. Yeah, this one is long overdue, guys. I mean, this is a very special figure for a lot of people because people have been holding on to these Justice League figures, just hoping and praying for a Cyborg. And then when he was finally announced, we got the glimpse of hope that we needed. So this is really exciting. This is one I haven't ordered yet, but I have rewards saved up for him, so I will be grabbing him soon. But yeah, for sure. Stevie says, by the way, I hope you're doing well, Stevie. Stevie says, one half of face is good for Hot Toys, less chance of them screwing it up. I mean, hey, I'm just really glad with this one. They did a good job. Obviously, we don't always agree on all the different sculpts, but it was great to see most people being pretty positive in the Hot Toys comments because you know how those Hot Toys comments get sometimes. Before we move on to Lane, Carlito says Cyborg looks great. Only wish it had at least die-cast joints or elements. Give the figure some weight. And I agree. That would have been nice. Again, I don't need the die-cast surface as cool as it would be. I think there's probably a reason they went with plastic on this one. I think a lot of it is the complexity of it. But yeah, I think this one's really cool. Lane, after seeing the final product photos of this Cyborg, what are your thoughts on it, man? Lane, are you there? Okay, I guess Lane has himself muted or something. We'll move on to cigars. Cigars. What are your thoughts on this Cyborg, dude, after seeing the final product photos?
Looks great. Looks like just like we saw on the prototype. I think they knocked it out of the park with this, which is pretty good given the lately Hot Toys have been kind of iffy up and down with their releases. So it's good to see that they're taking a W with this.
Yeah.
But I have no complaints. I have it on pre-order and payment plan. So as soon as that's paid off, it'll be coming home.
I agree. And like I said, for me, I haven't even ordered yet because this is one of those I was still waiting and hoping and praying for a deal. But in that time that I've been waiting, I've been saving up my rewards. So I'll definitely be grabbing this one for sure. I'm really excited to complete my Justice League finally because this would be the last one that I personally need. And yeah, I think he looks great too. I mean, you can't really complain when it looks very close to the prototype. That's all we really ask for. If you're happy with the prototype, that's all we really ask for, And Jeremy says he didn't think much of this, but a bunch of people have already ordered. And yeah, it might be one of those things. A lot of people waited to see what comes of it, because people are skeptical when it comes to complex figures like this. And it's really good to see. It's so funny. We got comments about Lane. Eddie's laughing, and Stevie Weeby says Lane is in deep thought talking about getting bamboozled over those lost swoop bikes.
So people gotta let some stuff.
Lane, where were you, bro? Like I called on you, and you were just like in another world. I don't know what happened there.
Sorry, someone was sending me a message. I had something to respond to quick.
Okay. So just that's messed up. You just ignore me. Josh Lyman says this is the best prototype to final product I've seen in recent times. And yeah, again, that's just a testament to the positivity that we've seen in the Hot Toys chat. When you see mostly positive people, in the comments, that's really the main reason why is because this is really very close to the prototype and people are happy. If we don't see degradation, a lot of people are happy with the original prototype, so it's going to make people happy if Hot Toys delivers, and I think they did deliver on this one. Yeah, Matt, so I actually have the review pulled up. I'm going to be pulling it up very shortly. I appreciate that, though. Tremble says, now you respond, Lane. Okay. Oilers Workshop is here. He says, this ain't your main Borg, it's your side Borg. Well, Oilers, I don't know. For some people, this might be their main Borg. You never know. They've been waiting so long. By the way, I hope you're doing well, Jordan. Great to see you here, as always. Let's see. Click the like. Oh, man. Don't start being cringy with the ooh, guys. Don't do it. Let's see. But let's move on. Lane, are you ready to talk about the Cyborg?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, all right. Lane, so what are your thoughts on Cyborg? Let's talk about it.
From a style and aesthetic to him, like he's an amazing looking figure. Obviously, I agree with one of the earlier points. Maybe if in some of the joints, if they had some die cast to him a little bit to give him a little bit of weight, might be cool. But I mean, otherwise though, I think the head sculpt they nailed perfectly. Just the features to him and everything. I think this feels like, what they talk about, the movie being brought into like live 3D form in some form or fashion for you to have in your hands. I think they completely did that with this figure. Not one I'm going to buy up because I don't really care about the character enough to spend. His price point isn't too bad either for just probably the aesthetic and everything. He's like, you remember all the techno-organic stuff they had like on the cable, with the having to develop that. Now just imagine that as like 80% of the figure. And
that is true. It's very reminiscent of that.
And the alt head sculpt, that comes with a special edition, which I know we'll probably maybe see some pictures of. I think that's really cool. That's actually like a neat reason to buy the special edition, for what's about the same price, I think, as the regular.
Right.
It's one of those things that it looks fairly posable. Now, the one thing I wonder is, are the arms single joint?
Now, after seeing this photo, it does look like they get cut off right here, and that seems to be by design, just based on how the armor looks. Again, we're going to check out a video. I haven't watched the video yet, so I don't know how much he poses it, but it does appear to be single
joint. Have it in hand, which I was kind of amazed by. That some people already had it.
Yeah, some people are quick in Hong Kong, man. They pick it up fast.
Yeah, but I mean, no one running to get the Silver Centurion as much as this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I think it's a really. Now, is the chest light up?
It is light up. I don't know. I haven't checked to see if it's. I don't think it's USB powered. I think this is originally battery powered. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they updated this one for USB power. which is unfortunate. This would have been a great candidate for that, you know.
Yeah, Stevie Weeby just had the best line right there where he was distracted.
Hey, Stevie, we don't do any anime picks on here, bro. I told Nate you got to make separate folders, man. We can't be doing that on multiple
I remember
streams.
watching him when he did that. That was
he's done it multiple times. Nate's done it multiple times.
But overall, though, I would probably now obviously not having it in hand or anything, or even seeing a ton of reviews of it. From the pictures, this looks like this should. I would have this at least as an 8.5 out of 10 figure, like for the whole enchilada, based off the pictures for it. So this is, I think, it can be counted from a creation standpoint, a win.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because like you pointed out earlier, when it came out in 2017. Now people got to buy it, or is it too late where they don't necessarily care as much now that it has come out? That might be the only. I'm just saying for where we say we want stuff, you know. That
a lot of people say they want things, and when it comes down to it, sometimes you don't have the money, or you change your mind. You're like, "What was I thinking at the time?" And it's just been
so long. That might be the one detriment where I don't see this figure, because I don't think they made a bucket load of these, but I could see this guy maybe sitting for a little while before he finally sells it. Not like 2 or 3 years or something, but. Right. Just because when he is finally coming out, and with the change in kind of culture a little bit, where it's looking like we do have to pre-order more, wherever we're going to try and get a figure within a certain amount of time, the likelihood maybe where you might just get, what, I think I'm just going to pick him up as because he looks really cool, like, which sometimes can help sell figures like this, especially for one that's older. He may have a little trouble selling out. But I think he eventually will, just because they didn't make a ton of him. But I could, you could see him being here for a little while, just because I think the time.
Yeah, I agree. Well said, Lane. I think this is one of those figures, kind of like, I would compare this to like Alita. Like a lot of people that bought that may have not seen the movie. They're just like, oh, this is a cool, like one-off figure. It's very complex. It's got something different to it. So I saw a lot of people that said that they weren't really big on the movie, and same with Pennywise as well. Pennywise was another one. A lot of people bought that because they were so intrigued, because everyone was saying how much they loved it. So maybe that'll happen with this one. I don't know.
Yeah, but Pennywise took a while to get rid of.
He did, and this is an older pre-order, so we'll see if Sideshow makes those adjustments and cuts it off early. We never know. But Mind Fiend, I wanna thank you for confirming that for me. Mind Fiend says the Hot Toys Wiki says Cyborg is battery operated, for everything that lights up. So I guess they didn't update it. I had a feeling they probably wouldn't with this one, just because it was too late in the game for them. But it would have been nice. It certainly would have been nice. I guess people who get fusion reactors will go that route. We got FBJ in the chat. FBJ says, and this is very well said, and we kind of briefly mentioned this earlier. FBJ said, people like me, and me too, and Ryan, people like me want to complete this line. Justice Leagues. Yeah, a lot of people are looking at this one. They're like, I'm so glad that I can finally complete my Justice League line. Some of us have like mismatched Justice League. I've got right now my only Batman currently for the Justice League is the Nightmare Batman. I am getting the Tactical Batman. I have that one on pre-order, the new one. I'm really excited to finally have a full league. I've got all the other ones, and it's going to look so great. You guys know I have the third-party Dark Side that I got custom painted, so it's just going to look amazing together. I'm really, really excited about this one. But Sean, as we move on to you, I'm going to pull up this review, but as I'm doing that, I want to hear your thoughts, Sean. What are your thoughts on this final product, especially going from the prototype and it being so similar? Do you think Hot Toys did a great job with this one? Do you think it's a home run like a lot of people are saying?
It looks great. It's been delayed for like ever, but
yeah, you can say
I'm excited to finally get it, because the only thing I'm missing now for my Justice League from what they've already had out is just Cyborg and the Flash. I'm not in a hurry to get the Flash,
right?
And I've really wanted this, and I'm happy with how it came out. It doesn't look as posable as how it was made to look.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, because my impression from when we first saw it and it was announced that it had double jointed instead of single jointed arms at the elbow section, and this looks like it's just single jointed.
Yeah,
so I'm not real happy with that.
Curious to see him pose it in this video. Hopefully he does.
So I'm hoping, it's not single jointed.
If you go back, it's double jointed. You can see the two, joints.
Kind of like that.
Start to scroll down. You can see the upper and the lower.
Let's see. Go ahead, Sean, though, while we're waiting for this to come back up, this part.
But, overall, it's like great. I mean, that head sculpt is great.
Right there.
I'm
So you can see the top rivet, and then when it meets to the other arm, there's the second rivet.
Hopefully he posted
maybe
this
it's
video.
not single.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that picture threw me off, Sean, because his arm was just at a complete 90-degree angle, and it looks like it was kind of stopping because of the design of the armor. But hey, if it's double jointed, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, all the pictures didn't really show any full articulation at all from the final product pictures. But I want to see more. No matter what, I'm going to be happy with it, and I'm going to be excited to get this thing and put it in my collection.
Me too.
Because it's like a complete awesome design.
And this is a complete.
I mean, it would never be practical in real life, but it looks amazing.
I think it's one of the things that from the Zack Snyder verse for like the character looks, I think that it was one of the most interesting ones that they did, that they made Cyborg work, where he was probably one of the ones I wondered the most if he would in, kind of that live action stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see, I'm curious what, how his whole head sculpt would have looked, if it would have looked this good, if they gave us a head without the metal parts, like if they did just a regular pre-Cyborg.
Like Victor Stone head sculpt. That would have been cool.
Yeah. That would have been awesome. But, and we got the alternate head too.
Yeah, this looks great. This looks great. And
I said that right on time too.
I know. As it popped up, Sean, I think you've already seen this video. Yep. You cheated.
No, I haven't seen this video already. I didn't even know this was out. But it looks good. But I still want to. The way he's like softly holding it, though, I'm concerned. Like, what
makes you concerned?
He's afraid to hold it too tightly. Because,
to be fair, I think that's his style.
Who is this that's doing this video?
This is 6-scale Kawu. Uwu. Someone said it in the chat. Never mind. I think that's his style.
Right.
Cool.
That's awesome. I thought it was somebody else. So the way the fingers were holding it, I thought it was, what's his name, Mr. C or something?
Oh, MRC. No, this isn't MRC.
Yeah, MRC.
Yeah, no, this isn't MRC.
He grips his stuff and everything, and so when I saw the fingers just like holding it softly, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, if he ever starts doing that, we're gonna lose faith in that figure. That's for sure, because he's notorious for doing us all a favor and manhandling the figures. Yeah, Stevie Weeby, I agree, dude. The sculpt looks great, and seeing it lit up here in the video, it looks fantastic. And this is my first time personally seeing it lit up, and I think it looks great, man. It's a shame that they didn't go USB power on this one, and talk about like a cool exclusive accessory. Obviously, sometimes we get exclusive accessories like Mark 85 Battle Damage, for example. He comes with that cheap like plastic shield. This is not one of those. This is really cool. It's one that obviously is very important for the character if you want to kind of display him in different looks. And I think it looks great. And Sean, the thing that I noticed about this that I think Hot Toys did such a great job with is the paint job of making it look like real metal. I think they did such a great job on that.
Yeah, and the weathering too, with like the effects of it. Like he's been flying through a clouded storm. Like not where it's like full out rain, but just like where moisture's just been on it. Looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I will say even in this like kind of strong lighting, the LEDs look decently bright in his chest. They don't look too bad. 'Cause sometimes obviously they look dim, but those look pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a beautiful design. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I wasn't saying. No, I'm sorry.
I thought you were about to comment.
No, I was just gonna say. I know, like I said, I really wish that that this was USB, just for the sake that there's so many lights on it.
I
know.
Like
there's actually a good amount of lights on this thing. Where like I'm actually contemplating like doing the soap reactor thing. I just hate all the wires. I just wish like there's just so many lights on this thing that actually looks really good lit up. I normally don't care about like my Iron Man figures. Like I'm not putting like the little soap reactor for the button cell batteries. This is like one, I don't know why. I'm like, dude, this looks so good. I've seen this for the first times. I just didn't realize there was this much lights on it. I'm like, yeah, I really kind of want to figure out how to light this thing up and keep it lit up.
I know. Bro, it's like, okay, so that's double jointed for sure. Let's go back. Actually, it'll probably spin around one more time. That's absolutely double jointed. That's a little bit past 90. I mean, it might be limiting based on the design, but it is certainly double jointed. We'll get a shot of it once it moves around here. I'll pause it. Like, yeah, I would say that's beyond 90. I mean, not much. And again, the thing with these, although they are double jointed, it looks like the way that those armor pieces kind of meet, it's going to be restricted because of that. But that is a little bit past 90. So I would certainly call that double jointed. Double jointed with some restrictions. Matt says, my figures don't like it when I play rough. Dude, me either. That's why I'm so careful with them, because the moment I play rough with my figures, something's going to break. FBJ says the helmet looks so good. Head sculpt looks great. I agree. I mean, again, I have really no complaints about this figure. I think it looks fantastic. And I do agree with the sentiment. If it did have some die-cast reinforcements in the joint, that'd be like the perfect scenario. But I mean, for being an all-plastic figure, I think they did a great job, and I think the paint job is really good. And like you can see here, guys, having them all together, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, right? We've been waiting over 2 years now to get this Cyborg figure. And like Nate would say, our faith has been rewarded, because here we are taking a look at the Justice League all together. Guys, as always, real quick, if you haven't already, Insane One says, I'm insane, so are you. If you don't like and subscribe to the Hot Toys Hotline in this killer panel, if you haven't already, my taper and thanks y'all. So yes, guys, if you're here, please consider dropping a like on the on the stream, and drop a like on this, or subscribe to the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I think Cyborg looks great. We're gonna move on to our next figure.
All this tells me is if you don't have it already, go buy that Wonder Woman 84 Wonder Woman so you can get one with sculpted hair.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I talked about it many times, Lane. I have that Justice League one in my collection. That the hair just does not look good. So I think the Wonder Woman 84 is a big dub for sure. Let's talk about Carnage, though, guys. I mean, this is another one that a lot of people were waiting on, and including myself. I don't have it ordered yet, but I do plan on ordering it. Hopefully, if we can find a deal somewhere on this one, I'd love to do that, because it's a very expensive figure.
Yeah.
But with that being said, this is another one, guys, and that's why I said when I was posting up the stream, like, Hot Toys, they dropped some bombs this week, and to see multiple figures look very close to the prototype is very exciting, and this one is no exception. I think he looks fantastic. A lot of people had mentioned about the visible joints, but to be fair, this is exactly as advertised. This is what we saw in the prototype photos, and I think he looks badass. I think the texture looks great. This one, I haven't watched any posing videos on it yet. I imagine this is more of like a hard plastic versus that like rubbery feel. Maybe in some portions it's hard plastic, some other portions it might be rubber. I'm not sure, because I haven't watched any videos on it, but I feel like he'll be definitely more durable than the Venom, because this is kind of a different design than the Venom. But man, he looks good. And guys, this is a very tall figure. I think this is what, like 14, 15 inches, something like that. 17. He's way taller than I thought.
With all the stuff, he could literally take up pretty much the space of like a quarter scale statue, like a sideshow quarter scale.
Yeah, so if you have a DTOF, you're gonna have to move that shelf up a little bit to fit him in there. Yeah, and Matt says both face sculpts are absolutely incredible. Just too tall, too expensive. Sony just made him too tall in the movie. And yeah, obviously we're used to seeing Carnage in like the cartoons, where he's a scrawny little high-pitched jerk, and then Sony's take on it was very interesting. With that being said, though, I think he looks really cool. Say what you want about the movie. Ryan often says this: you can kind of separate the film from the figure if you really do like the character. This is probably going to be one of your only opportunities to get Carnage in an official 6-scale format for a long time, at least. So I think because of that, this might be a smart one to pick up if you do very much like the character. Again, me personally, I'm waiting on a deal on this one, but I think he looks fantastic. So he's definitely really expensive, though. So hopefully we can see him discounted somewhere. This might be like one of the last ones that we see those discounts on. But Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts on this Carnage. In terms of, again, we're having that conversation about prototype to final product.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I mean, I don't have any complaints about it. There's like not a sculpt to it, so it looks as advertised to me. Yeah, the joints are a little hard to look at. I have the Venom. It just, for some reason, like right there, that separation in the shoulder and the arm looks real. Like that gap looks pretty bad to me. The Venom isn't as bad like that. Like I said, I'm seeing this for the first time. That gap right there on the shoulder where the arm is, that's pretty it's pretty rough to look at. But figure's cool. It really, it's funny whenever I think of Carnage, because really I always think of the Spider-Man 90s animated cartoon. I used to watch that as a kid, and it just reminds me like it just looks like an updated design. Like unlike the Venom, where like you can understand if he didn't have like the spider symbol on the chest, like that was kind of a drawback for people. Like they took, obviously there's a reason why, but like Venom, this is Venom. It's red and black, so there's really not much. Like it looks like I'm very happy with it. Like right there, man, that joint is killing me. That's like really sore in my eyes. That shoulder piece right there, like that gap. I don't know why his arm sits like that, but I would probably get this. The problem is, it's too much money. Like I know it's big, I know it's tall, expensive. Comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, it's definitely over 500, right? Isn't it like over 5?
It's like 445 for the one that does not come with the extra Venom head sculpt.
But even with tax and shipping, you're hitting high 4s out the door. And I just think this thing's gonna sit. And the problem is, unless Sideshow's doing like 30% off and like $5 shipping to really get this thing out, and they see, I love the sculpt. See that I really love, that's what they should be doing more going forward, is like giving us that bust, because I think Hot Toys kind of understands like even like the head sculpt is a work of art. Like someone sculpted that. That's really beautiful to look at, and to put those things back in the box. Like we talk about, you got that Mars Toys Joker. It's a shame that came with 3 head sculpts. You got to put 2 of them away because they're so good that you want to display them.
And look how good that looks, man.
It looks so good. I would consider getting it, but like it's gonna sit, and I'd have to get a deal on it. Like I have to get something stupid crazy on it, because I also wouldn't waste my rewards on it. It's not a rewards worthy figure for me. You know what I mean? Like I use rewards on like an Iron Man Mark 1 or something like big. Like I got rewards I'm saving up. I'm probably gonna use on Deluxe Toby. Like that's something to me that I feel like it's worth it. The Carnage, it's just not. And I also, that's the other thing, is I'm used to seeing him, like I said, from the 90s animated cartoon, and they had them kind of like height level to each other. Like they didn't make him a bigger character. Like he may have been stronger than Venom, but he definitely wasn't like taller than him.
Yeah, he was.
So the height's really throwing me off. Like I really don't like how tall he is compared to Venom personally. Like the tallest 2 figures I have, I think, are Thanos, Age of Ultron, Hulk. Yeah, those are the only 2 tallest ones that I have.
Yeah, so. That's fair. And actually, just seeing him mess around with this is definitely rubber. You can kind of see.
It looks like the same material as Venom. It looks like rubbery.
I'm guessing the arms and the legs are like more of a harder plastic, just based on what I'm seeing.
See, like, did he pop the arm back in? Yeah, he pulled it back in. So the arm must have been hanging out during the video.
Yeah, you can definitely adjust it to make it look a little better. This looks like Guy, so
right.
we know
because it's like the whole start of the video literally had the arm sagging off the shoulder, and I'm like, what's going on with the arm? He just popped it right back in its socket. So I was like, all right, now that makes me feel better.
Yeah, he had it kind of offset too much.
I don't know what Guy. It was this Guy. What's he doing?
This is certainly Guy. It looks like his hands.
What is he like? See, like, what is he doing here?
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, and you could kind of very slightly see a color difference between the rubber portion, but it's very, very slight. But I agree, Ryan. Overall, I think he looks really good. And with the joints here, I do think part of the reason why it was so visible is because he didn't have it like.
No, you're right. Like right there, it looks perfectly fine. It looks better. That's why I retract that issue.
Now that's a little not great.
Little eyesore.
Yeah, it's a bit of an eyesore. It's so crazy that we got those seamless wrist joints with She-Hulk, and we haven't seen that again, have we? Since then, I don't think we have.
Nope.
Even with the Bane, I don't think we saw those. So
inconsistent use of Hot Toys technology is a big issue for them.
Yeah, and Boba confirmed it for us. Those are Guy's meat hooks.
Yeah.
But Lane, moving on to you, Lane. I guess you didn't like that meat hook comment. You don't like meat hooks, Lane? But moving on, Lane, what are your thoughts on this Carnage after seeing this?
I love
final
this Carnage,
product,
man. I think it looks great, but it's like you guys were saying, so massive. Yeah. And I understand why they made him bigger, like in the movie, to make him, bigger, stronger, so he seems more of a threat to Venom and stuff, which is why they did it. The figure itself, I love this figure, but just seeing all the stuff in the box, like I'm like, how big is this box? Like, is this?
I mean, the Venom box, I've seen that in person. I don't have the figure, but it's massive. It's massive.
This thing with all his pieces and stuff just makes me go, oh boy. It is. I think the technology to make it's really cool. This is what's really cool to me this week, and or in the last week or week and a half, is this Carnage, I think, is a unique, well-designed figure that's different than a lot of times we see from Hot Toys, but also to go with like the Cyborg we were just looking at. That's a nice, interesting, unique figure from Hot Toys we don't normally see. Yeah. Obviously, this guy's about like twice as big as Victor. Like, I guess the problem is where I can say if you want like a more comic accurate, version of the character, for $120 more, you can get the premium format statue, and that Carnage is like the comic Carnage, who's smaller than Venom. Yeah, and a little bit more aerodynamic. But I honestly really like this design. I think all the tentacles and stuff. I know Venom comes with a decent number. I mean, he comes with a ridiculous amount. It's almost. Would you guys almost say maybe for Carnage, it's almost like too much, a little bit with all. I
actually really like it. And Ryan, I wanted to. This shot here is kind of very convincing, right? Like when you have all the tentacles and stuff, and you pose them in a certain way. It kind of does hide those joints too, even more when you have them.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, it helps a lot.
Like my Venom, I don't have all the tentacles on. I just have him as himself. I mean, but it looks really great. Like, I don't know if I'd have the tentacles out of the back, but I love all the other ones that are added on the body. Like,
and really then the weapons too might make it look better. Like,
it makes it animated better. It does. It looks really like that's a money shot, right? That's a nice shot.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Like I haven't posed.
Like they just rung a bell or something, made some.
I like that a
lot. Baby.
Yeah, like exactly. I'd probably display it like that. That's cool.
I don't know. Like I love and like it is overkill. You're right. That's overkill, cool, but holy crap, it looks good.
Yeah. Well, I just mean for the amount of stuff you have to keep track of and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're not an accessory person, this might be a nightmare for you. And not only that, the accessories aren't exactly small to put them away. So yeah, I can see what you mean.
But this is a guy now. As you guys said, the problem is that it is a Iron Man price figure. It's a big figure. So I guess, Ryan, you were, or Sean or anybody, when you guys were just mentioning, did any of you get like one of the old Hulks, like Gladiator Hulk or anything back in the day when he came out, which are giant size figures?
I have Gladiator Hulk.
I have Age of Ultron Hulk.
Yeah, about how much price point was a guy of that size? Now I think Hulk
I got him after I got him aftermarket for $300.
Okay, but I have $220 in points right now. I was thinking I could, maybe use towards him, but like you said, I like the movie.
I have Gladiator Hulk.
Yeah. Did you get him when he originally came out, Sean?
He said, "Stop asking questions, Lane."
Okay. Well,
I guess.
Well,
see, that's the problem though. We have $200-something in points. It's
you want
like
to use it towards an Iron Man.
There's so much better stuff. I think that's like he's not on the top totem pole to say, "Oh, I dropped." You know what I mean? Like
people have forgotten about this movie. Let's be real, guys. They certainly have.
I think the main thing with me is, like you guys say, I have a bunch of points, but like I consider
the Gladiator Hulk. No, I got him after the fact.
Okay. Like those points, like use a lot of points. I'm considering using on the Mark 6 with the gantry. So
yes, like that's worthy for me. Like this is not up that tier. Like there's probably 5 or 6 other figures I dropped 250 points on versus before this thing.
The one thing I think is kind of for this release overall is I'm not sure the deluxe is worth it. The deluxe is literally not worth it unless you have the Venom. Yeah. So there is a fairly large difference in pricing between the deluxe and the regular one. So if you're getting which is literally everything except for the Tom Hardy sculpt with the little bust, everything else is included with the regular one. It's $445. So it's not good, but it's not horrible either. Kind of. If you really want to get this figure.
Yeah, I agree, Lane. It's doable, but it is very high price for what it is. Like
you have to want it.
Certainly, you have to really like the character.
Or I would, I'd be more along what you guys are saying is maybe if there's a discount on it, or, this guy might be in the secondary market, just as Marvel characters are, where he might still be a little expensive, but if you can get him for, I don't know, like say $350, $375, you might go, I'm going to pull the trigger on that because he's a really cool big figure, Yeah.
Kind of Apparently, Sideshow just dropped the Cyborg video. Talk about timing. Owen says, I know someone that's excited for this figure. Yeah, the resident Carnage fan. We know who he's talking about. Matt says Carnage is a smaller, faster slasher. Venom is the stronger, slower brute, reflective of the human host. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this certainly isn't like the cartoon version that I knew. Like I said, I was used to the tiny little dainty, skinny Carnage with the running off at his mouth, But
the comics version.
Yeah, he's way cooler.
Cartoon.
Well, I watched the cartoons, dude.
Yo, you ever play that?
I'm not a comic
You
person.
remember the Maximum Carnage video game? I used to play the hell out of that.
Yeah,
I used to hate that game so hard.
I know, I loved it though.
yeah, but Carnage, that's the thing is Carnage is supposed to be faster and deadlier. Where like Venom is like he was presented in the movie actor is more big brutish, kind of smashing stuff as he jumps on it, kind of thing. But you know what? The other thing, I guess, is my last comment, and then so we can move on.
Yeah, because we got to say what's up. We got another panel member here,
yeah.
Lane. He's waiting for his grand entrance that we so often demand.
Yeah, well, I'll just say for him, the nice thing with this one, this is even a unique version of Carnage, though, and he's big enough where you could fit him in. Maybe if you have a statue collection or something, where you could stick him in with that as a unique version of the character too. That in comparison to those, he's pretty cheap, in comparison. So they're like $600. So that might be one thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. Rax is saying,
let Chris do his intro before I speak.
Yeah, all right, here we go. So, guys, we have Chris the Collecting Madness here. Chris, perfect timing. I know you're ready to talk about Carnage, but show us the belt,
said
man.
A grand entrance? Since you bring it up, we might as well. There's about 50 in here, so if you haven't hit the like button, do so. What's up, chat? We're finally in there. Big Dog Pound didn't get to reach you earlier because I wasn't here, but I see you in the chat. Whoa!
There you go, Big Dog Pound. He never misses a beat. I saw him with that belt. I'm like, I know what he's doing. He's ready. He's ready for sure. But
Now, what's up, guys?
yeah, it's great to have you here, Chris. Awesome you were able to come in right as we're talking about Carnage. I know you've been waiting for it for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
But we'll get Cigar's thoughts, and then we'll move on to you eventually, Chris, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. Cigars, what are your thoughts on this Carnage, man?
I think it looks good. It looks really good. I like the texturing and everything. I think it looks a lot better than the Venom texture. But obviously, it's a lot easier to see because of the red and the black as opposed to just solid black. But like everybody else, my only complaint was that Sony made Carnage extremely tall, and at the end of the movie tried to make him go like Power Ranger Kaiju where he grew. But other than that, like I think it's a great figure. I wish they would have stuck more with the comic look because, I mean, Cletus Cassidy was smaller and skinnier, so Carnage was obviously smaller and skinnier than Venom because Eddie Brock in the comics is huge. But really no complaints. I think the figure overall looks great. I think I'm going to be like everybody else, too. I'm going to hold off just because of the price point.
Yeah.
Might try to save up some rewards and drop it down or see if he even gets onto discounts or anything like that before I pull the trigger on him. But if it does get the blue screen beforehand, then obviously I'll have to just pull the trigger anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it looks good, and I'm excited to see what Venom 3 is going to be, seeing how that's already in the works. I have a feeling it's going to be Toxin, just because of the way that Part 2 ended.
Dude, they got so many choices for symbiotes now; it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because the detective that you see at the end, where his eyes are glowing, that's actually the character in the comics. That's Toxin. That is actually that's Toxin. So I have a feeling Venom 3 is going to be with Toxin.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of potential, and it was unfortunate, right, that they gave us our Venom in the MCU, but then they didn't give it to us at the same time. That was just a little tease that didn't end up being what we wanted. So I'm definitely looking forward to the third film and seeing how they come back from the mostly lackluster response to the second film, right? And that goes back to, like, people have really forgotten about this film. Unless you're a big Carnage fan, and again, like, you just want a Carnage in your collection, a lot of people are probably looking at this one. And like Ryan said, a lot of people are like, I don't want to throw my rewards on Carnage, So it's totally understandable, but I agree, Cigars. I think he looks great.
Yep.
you kind
I
of have
love
to
his
take what you can
accessories.
get, right? Oh yeah, I think
His
that, like I said, for
accessories
me,
look
like
awesome.
fully kitted up. I don't know about you, but fully kitted up, like that's the look I like. I think he looks
No,
awesome.
that's the way I want to display him, because even in the comics, like whenever he fought, he was always turning his hands into weapons.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's going to look good, especially side by side with Venom. Just have them going at each other. I think it'll look really good.
Yeah, that's the ideal way to display him for sure. Raxa says if they make it R, the movie would do better than 2. Yeah, it's
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, they had the opportunity to make part 2 rated R, but Sony didn't want to go that route. But
yeah,
I mean, like Nate and I were talking about that prison scene. If it was rated R, everybody in that prison would have died.
Yep.
They still had him eat heads.
Yeah, they did. I mean, but we would have seen a lot more, you know, like blood and death.
Oh, yeah.
scenes.
Yeah, imagine
Other
if we
than
got to
just
see him actually eat the heads, right? That'd be amazing.
Well, that's what
see
just
him
made it
kill
goofy.
people, because you know Carnage, you know, Cletus Cassidy's a serial killer, so it's not like he's in the right mind. He's a psychopath.
Right, exactly.
What are you talking about, dude? He's like so calm, collective.
Sean, now that you're talking and you're telling us that Cletus Cassidy, that might say something about Sean if he thinks he's calm and collective. Sean, what are your thoughts on this Carnage, man?
Well, first off, I feel that anyone who has advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, you know, I just think they're misjudged by the community. Like everyone, you know, they can be kind and gentle. You know, they're just perceived that way.
Sean, you get points for just getting that out without stuttering at all. That was quite
I know,
impressive.
right? Because I'm amazing.
You know, you are pretty amazing for that. I'll give you that.
That was a very big word.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anyways, so no, I'm kind of in agreement with Cigars and Bacon here, or from also known as CNB, or other words I'm not allowed to say because this is PG-13. But this movie should have been
Love you
rated
too,
R.
buddy.
You're welcome, baby.
Oh Lord, Sean, talk about Carnage, you sicko.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Was Carnage.
Oh, okay. We'll give you a
with
pass.
bacon.
We'll give you a pass.
Anyways, you know, no matter what, I mean, the seams and everything, it's gonna be years till technology comes out where they can actually get it done to where we're not gonna lift the arms up and everything's ripped apart for something like this big.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ryan that they're a little bit too noticeable as well. But I think if you pose it just a specific way, you can actually hide it. But I don't really have more to say other than
those ankle joints are really rough to look at from that angle.
I
was like, wow.
Those ball joints are like the biggest detractor for me.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing like little booties. Like it just looks weird.
Yeah, I can see where a lot of people's complaints saying they look toyish. Like I was telling Nate yesterday on Geeking Out, I can see it in like the hip area where the legs meet in, or the thighs meet into the hip, where you can actually see the crease and the seam where the separation is. I can see why people are saying it does still have that toyish look, but like Sean was saying, if you do in the right poses, you'll get it to where you don't really notice it.
Right, like here, like at Massive Pretty. You know what this reminds me of, Cigars? The 3-0 Demogorgon. Same exact type of design. It's got the rubber body and then the sculpted arms, and it's the same way. But it's the same case with that one. You can kind of mask it, putting it in certain poses, and yeah, it's obviously very noticeable when he's just fully straight up and down in your display. But if you get creative with it, like they have here, I think it does kind of help with the look overall, and I think it looks good.
I think the problem is, though, too, is if you're going to go for a museum pose, you got to figure out some type of way to angle it or whatever. Because if you do straight on, it's going to look like a 1980s He-Man figure.
Like that looks
with the joints and everything and the separation. It's not going to be a great look for how much money is being spent on this thing.
This thing is certainly
Carnage
overpriced in my opinion.
That was just there where his back was like tilted backwards.
Yeah,
that one looked really good. You don't really notice the seam.
This is just too pricey. This is going to price out just way too many people. Like that's a great pose for a museum pose. That's a great pose. But this, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's pricing out way too many people for what. There's just still too many things, like you said, that toyish factor. Like I said, I'm watching that video for the first time, and there's too many turnoffs for me that wouldn't, like, it would have to be a stupid, crazy deal to even think about picking this up for me right now.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I am going to pick this one up, but it's going to have to be a deal, whether it's on the secondary market or through Sideshow. It's just, yeah, it's a little too pricey for what it is, but I do think it looks cool. As I say that, Denobi's saying he thinks this looks like a large Marvel Legend. I've seen that being thrown around a lot, and that's fair. Again, it does look good, but it definitely has some weaknesses. Those exposed joints on the ankles and the wrist, they're very obvious, right? They're ball joints. It's kind of a decent separation from the limbs, so it makes it pretty obvious. So I totally understand that because, again, you have a lot of visible... And this kind of goes back to like the Jake Sully and Neytiri figures from Avatar. Same conversation we had about those, right? A lot of people are like, those visible joints just look so bad to me. And at the end of the day, I think it really comes down to accepting certain things for what they are, if you really like the character, and then saying like, okay, I like this, but I don't like, you know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to. But again, $445. This is a very expensive figure.
Same thing. You know, I mean, you can't give a pass to this thing, even though it's a big, large monster creature.
Right.
People have complained about the joints exposed for Shang-Chi that just came out recently.
Right. Real quick, guys, my boy OG fan dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for that. OG says this panel is on fire. Thank you so much. We very much appreciate that. And by the way, guys, we're slowly getting all of our videos together for the super chats that I've been telling you guys we're working on. I got Chris's today, and it's hilarious. I have it, but it's not prepared, Chris. I didn't have a chance to.
Let's go.
Hey,
It's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. Look, hey guys, we're debuting it next stream.
Wow.
Don't you mess with the debut.
You know what? We
don't
really
you mess with the
appreciate
debut.
that super chat. You know, let there be carnage with that money that you're giving up. Yeah.
All right.
Connor Likey, long time. Yeah, when Star Wars was just Star Wars.
Sean, you went all over the place with that one. You went all over the place.
You know what, dude? It's never scripted with me. I give it how you take it. The end.
Yeah.
That could be used in so many different ways.
I just don't like the Venom.
Dude, I didn't say I'm Rick James, all right? I just said.
Denobi, let me sugarcoat it a little bit, right? I got to be fair. It does have some good aspects to it. Again, I can't talk. I've got the 3-0 Demogorgon, and it's a very similar design. It's got that rubber torso and the exposed joints all around. Denobi, I have a question for you, because, again, I kind of made that comparison. When you look at, like, Jake Sully and Neytiri, do you have, like, similar thoughts to that? I don't want to, like, go completely off topic, but it seemed to be the other figure. Yeah, that was the group of figures where people were kind of saying the same thing. They're like, it just looks too much like a cheap toy. I'm very curious. And other people in the chat, feel free to chime in. I'm very curious. Jordan says, I love the Axis Carnage comics. Carnage tries to become a hero and ends up accidentally slicing people up trying to save them, and then actually repents of his sins and ... Sin Eater dies. Wow, spoiler alert, dude. No, I'm just joking. Sin Eater dies because he can't consume all of Carnage's sins because there is too many.
Yeah, well, yeah, the friendly neighborhood Carnage, which is like the heroes returned villains and villains had their things. That friendly neighbor, if you want to read something hilarious, friendly neighborhood Carnage is one of the greatest things Marvel's ever made.
Nice.
Orler's right. Sin Eater. That's a good that's a good Spider-Man villain. Almost said Batman. That's a good Spider-Man villain.
Hey, it's all right. We'll be talking about Batman next. Don't you worry. Hot Toys Collector says, good evening from Singapore. DC Collectors rejoice. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Finally, the time for DC Collectors has come after all this time. But, Chris, I haven't heard much out of you on Carnage. I want to move on to you. I know this is a figure you've had paid off for quite a while, so I'm sure the moment you saw this, you're like, thank God. What are your thoughts on this Carnage, man?
So I feel like I'm quite opposite of the spectrum where everybody else is. I think he looks really, really menacing, especially like this. And there's a lot of sick things you can do with him. I also enjoyed both the first film and the second film. A lot of people didn't, but I kind of took it out of perspective for what people wanted it to be. That's kind of like what people do with Marvel as well. I appreciated the differences that the movie brought. I liked Tom Hardy in it. The relationship he has with Venom, it's just different than what we got in an animated series or something. And I used to watch that too. I loved Toxin. I loved Carnage. I had Venom. I paid full retail for him. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, of course, because he's bigger or whatever the price of. So I paid full retail, and I'm not ashamed about it. And I got him day one. So I've been super excited to have this. And in my opinion, I couldn't have Venom without Carnage, and I can't wait to have the two of them in my display together, like with all their tendrils or accessories. And then because I got the deluxe, I'm excited for that Eddie Brock head sculpt, which the half one or whatever. It should have came with it in the first place, and then I wish they did, Cassidy's, but it is what it is. So, but I'm really excited for this, like so excited for this.
I'm glad to hear.
And I think it's one of those things too. In person, like we might have said about Venom, we didn't know how the joints were going to be. I think when you get it in hand and you look at those paint apps and you see because he looks really glossy in here, so I can only imagine to the eye like how in detail, how they do with blood. Like there could be like certain pigments of other colors in there, like Venom had a purplish. So I'm kind of feeling like the camera's not doing him justice here, even though he still looks good to me. But yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear because, again, I know you've been waiting for this one for a while. Again, I think he looks cool. It's certainly a cool figure for me. I just think he's a bit overpriced. I certainly agree with that. And Denobi actually answered my question regarding the Avatar figures. Denobi says, for Avatar, you have a bit of leeway since they wear the Indian loin clothing. And that's true. It does kind of cover up those, kind of hide the crimes of that like diaper butt that they often have with figures like this. Not a complete hide, but it's passable. And I agree. Denobi says, I'll be getting both Avatar figures. So, Denobi, I guess we're the only 4 pre-orders for the Avatar figures at this point because haven't seen too many people saying they're picking them up. But I love those movies, and I actually really enjoyed The Way of Water. So I'm glad to hear that you're picking those up as well. And real quick, before we move on to Sean's final comment, Oilers, I don't know if these have a... not for a human consumption sticker on them, but we might have to make sure Hot Toys does that moving forward because I don't want to see you eating these quote-unquote Red Vines candy accessories that come with this character, man. It looks like we got 8-Bit Flea in the chat. 8-Bit, it's good to see you, man. I'm sorry if I didn't catch you earlier, if you're here earlier. But, Sean, what are your final thoughts on Carnage before we move on?
So, this is my last comment, is I kind of wish they made the Anne Wang Venom figure for the female version of her from the first film.
The Bride of Venom.
What was her name?
Anne Wang was the character's name.
Okay.
So the ex-girlfriend that, when Venom got on her and there was a female version, I kind of wish they made her versus this Carnage.
Yeah.
And then it would have given them more time to actually make this a lot better. However, I mean, for now, I think it's all right.
Yeah. Again, if you want this character, I think people are going to shell out the money. But yeah, I'm surprised we got Carnage, to be honest with you. I really am. I was surprised at the time we got Carnage because I'm like, Hot Toys, they gave us one figure from the first Venom film, obviously the most important character. But yeah, I agree. I mean, additional figures would probably make people more enticed to get this. But again, it's the price for this one. We had Late Bloomer. What's up, by the way, Late Bloomer? I briefly put up your comment, but Late Bloomer said this is like $500 for a companion piece. And rightfully so. I think most people would start with Venom, and then this would be a companion piece at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Hey, you never know. If they ever do a Grievous, just think if he's tall with die cast, all the different joints, if he's this price, I mean, it could be just a Marvel thing. Marvel, for some reason, tends to be a little bit more expensive, but I don't know. As intricate as he would have to be,
That's true.
But when I saw this is the number one figure I wanted out of that film. I was like, please do a Carnage.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did it. Again, I just think it's a little overpriced, but, I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Wasn't Venom Venom was like the first one, wasn't it?
Venom was very expensive.
He was
too.
$405.
Yeah, Venom was very expensive too. They're both very expensive.
So that's why
figures.
I was like, this
he's
one's
competitive price wise. I mean, the 2.0 or whatever the heck you want to call it, it's 445 or 440 or something. So.
Yeah, I want to say what's up real quick to Leighton. Leighton, it's great to see you here. Leighton says, yo, what's up, you legends? My damn flight got canceled. I'm sorry to hear that. So sitting at an airport for 8 hours till the next one, ready to catch up. Well, hey, we still got plenty to talk about, so thank you so much for being here, and I hope we're able to entertain you. Yes, TK, Lizard Dio has been on low stock for a while now. Actually, at least like, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, guys? Something like that. Trevor, the 1-6 shooter is here. Trevor, it's great to see you as always. Trevor says 0 interest in Carnage of Venom, thankfully. Yeah, I mean, if you're not interested in these characters, you're certainly saving a lot of money. And then before we move on, one final comment. 8-Bit Flea says it looks very plastic. I guess plasticky would be the better word there. And toy-like to me, especially the shoulders and the legs. And yeah, that's what Ryan was pointing out earlier. I think that's kind of like the elephant in the room when it comes to that figure. So it is what it is. Like I said, I agree with Chris. It is cool that they made it. I was very surprised that they did. And I'll probably pick it up if I can get it for the right price. So moving on, guys, to, in my opinion, the biggest news of the week. And guys, we finally got the Bale Batman / Bruce Wayne Armory set. This is one that I personally, and I know I could speak for most people on the panel, if not everybody on the panel here, I didn't lose faith in this one because after we got that post from Hot Toys saying that there's more coming from the Dark Knight, I'm like, this has got to be one of the things they're working on putting out. Now, of course, what we did not expect is for them to go in and completely swap out one of the figures that came with this set. Obviously, when we originally saw this, it included the full Bruce Wayne suited look with the cane. And Hot Toys went back to the drawing board with that and said, let's give him something else. Now, as I'm starting this, we got Big Brita in the house. What's up, Brita? Brita says DX19, the new poor cousin. Yeah, it's being thrown around a lot, dude. Poor cousin, DX19 killer. We're going to address that because a lot of us on this panel do have the DX19, so we're certainly going to address that. But yes, exactly. All the way back from San Diego Comic-Con, and they swapped out the Wayne to something different. I'm glad that we're talking about this now. I've had a lot of time to digest the Bruce Wayne. I finally formed a solid opinion on it after I let my hype die down a little bit. I do have some concerns about it, and Ryan kind of swayed me in a different direction with that because he was sharing some very honest feedback about it with me. And I'm like, you're right. There are some things that need to be fixed there. So we're going to talk about that. But I just want to kind of talk about this set as a whole. I think this is really cool. This is going to be a set that is certainly not for everybody. I'll start by saying that. This is not for everybody. I think I saw a post. Someone did the math on the measurements. I don't know if this fits in a DTOF, like fully open. I think someone said it does not fit. And actually, it might be a little too tall. Someone may be able to comment in the chat about that. But I saw some people saying
on the measurements.
Yeah, and I think someone was saying it was a bit too tall, which it's certainly unfortunate. But again, this isn't for everybody. This certainly, like, and I want to start by saying this, guys. I have the DX19 in my collection. Do I feel like this DX19 makes this new updated bat suit makes my DX9 obsolete? Not to me personally. Are the improvements very good? And we're going to take a look at why. Yes, we're going to take a look at it. But here's the thing about the DX19, guys. Before this set was a thing, how many people did you truthfully see like openly complaining about the DX19? Not many. Obviously, the biggest complaint about the DX19 was the fact that the gloves weren't properly tucked into the suit. They have fixed that with this one, which is very cool, and we're going to take a look at those photos. But most people were very positive about the DX19. A lot of people, at least that I came across, were like, the DX19 is awesome, in my opinion. I think it looks great. I think Hot Toys did a great job, and this is very close to a true DX release compared to what we've seen in the past. So from what I could see prior to this actually being a thing, I think a lot of people were positive about the DX19. But real quick, before we move on to Ryan, what I wanted to address was this Bruce Wayne here, guys. Do I think this is a better option to go with this Armory? Yes. Obviously, the other option that we had originally at San Diego Comic-Con was the fully suited Bruce Wayne with the cane. And this is the scene, this is the version of Bruce Wayne that we saw in this scene with this Armory. So obviously this made a lot more sense for them to do this version. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a fully seamless, essentially this is a statue. It's a power pose. You can't do anything with it. It's all sculpted as one piece. The only thing that is really different is that this has a head sculpt on it. You can move the head sculpt. But with that being said, Ryan pointed out one thing to me, and originally I was kind of like, Christian Bale was kind of big, and if you hold your arms like that,
Hogan, dude, that's not Christian.
It's not Hulk Hogan, but it is much bigger, right? It's certainly not Christian Bale. I've had time to digest it,
here, bro. It's like not. Let's be real.
What it took for me, Ryan, was not only your influence, but also someone posting a photo of them side by side. And I'm like, okay, it's a little off. I think he's a little too buff. They went a little too crazy with it. The forearms, especially, they're a little too big. My original defense, I was like, well, kind of when you press your forearms, when you press your forearms against your body, it does make them kind of flatten out, make them a little bigger. But seeing them next to each other, the photos from the film and this next to each other, it's clear that they're a little too big. The other thing, and what I've been calling it, are these salad fingers. The fingers sculpted into the arm, they look kind of rough to me. Like it almost looks like one piece, because obviously this is a sculpted piece here, and I should say it looks too much like one piece. So I'm not a fan of that. I hope that they kind of adjust this a little bit. The fingers just need a bit more separation to them. I know it's kind of difficult because it's all sculpted together, but yeah, those are certainly salad fingers in my opinion. They're just too long. They look lanky. And then the final thing I want to address before I move on to Ryan's thoughts is the head sculpt, right? Is it an absolutely terrible head sculpt? No, but it's weak. It needs some work. I like what they went for here. And again, when you see the movie stills side by side, you're like, I see what they were going for. I like the direction they went in, but it needs to be tweaked, right? To me, it's just not quite there. The DX19 sculpt, in my opinion, is better than this. I would much prefer the DX19 sculpt. So I just think this needs some work. I do like the expression they went with. Again, when you see the movie stills, it's the correct expression. It's just there's some things off in the eyes and in the cheekbones. It just needs some work. But with that being said, Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts on this set and kind of digest everything, kind of dissect whatever which way you want, because I know you have some thoughts, like I said, especially about this Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, so when I saw this, I wake up at like 4 in the morning. I wake up at like 6 normally, go to work. I woke up at like 4, saw this, and I think this is like the first shot I saw. I was like, damn, that looks good. It looks like from the movie. I'm like, oh, awesome. And I rolled back over and went to sleep. I like saw it for a few seconds on Facebook, and that was it. And then when I woke up in the morning and had a chance to digest everything, what it was, I was like, it's still cool. Like it still looks really cool. But then I was like, power pose. The power pose does not bother me because a couple things I'll try to like put all my thoughts together. But Hot Toys, I think their main goal is to strive for as realistic as possible. And articulation is not the first thing. Like, so you couldn't get a Fison body to articulate like this. You know what I mean? You couldn't get a body that was articulated to get this kind of specific pose. Everything Hot Toys was trying to achieve a certain look. Does it look like it's right out of the movie? Yeah, it does. Like when you compare that look, it does look like he's literally mid-sentence or listening to Alfred talk about Bane and how he's basically going to kick his ass. Don't be Batman again, and that's what it is. And so that's what it's really cool. Light up our the armory, all that stuff. The head, the face, and I think me, you, and C and B were in a chat that morning, very early in the morning, and then it kind of ran. Everyone else ran with it, but like it looked like that scene from American Psycho in the morning when he was peeling off the face.
Right, it was peeling off the face.
It looks too,
and he's sweaty too, right? So it kind of adds to that.
I get what they're trying to go with, but it doesn't achieve the look. Like, oh, he's working out. I mean, he wasn't sweating in the scene. Like, if you pull up a photo, he looked normal. Like, he wasn't like dripping sweat. So they need to go back and retool the sculpt. I'm completely happy with the gym outfit personally, because how many Bruces in suits do we need realistically? Like every time you get a Bruce Wayne, he's in a suit. This is something different, which I like something different. So it's cool. The arms are too big.
All of them.
Armory of suits. The arms are just they're too large. When you do the side-by-side comparison, they are way too big. They look fantastically sculpted, but they're just not the right pose. I mean, they're not the right size. So they need to dial the arms down a little bit, the face. The one issue that I do have also is they show how you could take the Bruce Wayne head sculpt off and put it on the Batman suit. Right?
Let's see.
You
actually, it was that first photo.
Yeah. So you could. So then, what do you do with the Bruce Wayne body?
Right. It kind of makes the Bruce Wayne body useless.
It makes it completely useless. You don't have a body, so you need 2 head sculpts technically if you want to display everything, because you're spending $500 plus. I want to display everything, whether that mean 2 Bruce Wayne head sculpts. I don't care. I want that displayed that way, because then luckily for me, I have the DX19. It's on the tumbler behind me, so this is going to stay how I buy it, like the suit in the armory, Bruce standing there. Exactly how I'm going to do it. I don't feel I did when you and I spoke. I did feel a little kind of like I get where people are coming from, where like they feel like they got kind of gypped with the DX19 because it's still in stock. But I'm kind of different on that now, because like you said, you know, you got to be prepared. There's always going to be something new coming out from Hot Toys. My original complaint was they could have done these features in the DX19 and called, you know, like they could have added those features. And I know you were like, hey, listen, you know, releases come, like when they work on one thing, they got, you know, something always new can happen, especially with like the Chrome Mando. Like people are upset about that.
Oh,
so
up in arms, you know?
Yeah, it was like, but it's like, it is what it is. Like whenever you get a Hot Toy, you got to always be expected there's going to be something else down the line. So I'm not upset about it. And then when people are also referring to this being a DX, like this should have been a DX, I don't really agree with that either, because I think either Nate or somebody else, I'm not taking credit for saying it, but we don't even know how articulated the bat suit is. They show you the arms, but they don't show any articulation anywhere else, nor in the description does it really define how articulated the bat suit is. So how do you know the bat suit from the waist down is just another museum?
That's what you and I were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, CMB, if that's what
I talked to Nate about it yesterday on Geeking Out. He said he talked to Monica. Monica asked the people at, I believe, Secret Base, and they said that it's going to be a fully articulated body for the suit.
Cool. So, all right, that's cool. So if you don't have the DX19, you don't lose
It's
out.
right. It's basically an upgraded DX9. And real quick, Brita, I'm going to keep your comment up for the rest of the stream, dude. So get used to seeing it on the screen.
Yeah, so, I mean, I like it. I like it. I think it's priced fair for what it is. I think for each collector, you just have to realize how that's going to fit in your collection. So, like, if you don't have the DX19, great. My DX19 is on the Bat Pod, so I'm not upset about having another one. As I said, it will be displayed as I see it here. I'm not getting this day one. I think it will sit a little while. I have more important things to be paid off, like Star Wars, that I think this is going to sit a little bit. If it goes blue screen, obviously I'll grab it. But I'm not in a rush to get it right away. But I think they ultimately need to retool the Patrick Bateman head sculpt.
Yeah, it needs work. It really does.
Yeah, and like the fingers and the skull, it just needs to be improved.
The salad fingers, yeah, we got to get rid of the salad fingers. But yeah, overall, it's a cool idea, and I think I like this
concept. And it's not a surprise. It's a fantastic idea and concept. It just needs to be executed better. That's all.
Yeah, and we always ask for stuff that's different, and I think this is very different. I was very happy, and this was a welcome release for me, or excuse me, announcement. And I like what TK said here. He says, someone described this Bruce as being like a nice display base for your sculpt. I'm okay with it since we don't see him like that a lot. The mouth should have been like in the DX19. I mean, yeah, so a lot of people obviously have brought the price into question. For me, I don't think the price was terrible on this one. I think it was, what, $565 is the price on the set? I think that's the price. I don't think that's terrible. I got to be honest with you. I mean, is it maybe slightly overpriced, maybe about like $20? You could argue that for sure. But I think overall for what you get, it's not terrible. I am interested to see obviously the mouth sculpts, or maybe we're only getting one mouth sculpt. It seems like what it was like to me that comes with the masked cowl. But I'm very curious to see what that is because they haven't shown that yet. Let's see. And TK's just getting his Dark Knight Armory today. Well, hey, you're going to have both of them at that point. I see a lot of people talking about cheekbone implants. Yeah, it certainly needs to be reworked. Is it like the worst sculpt I've ever seen? I wouldn't say that, no. It just needs some work. And yeah, I agree, Control Delete. The gym attire is really nice, and I think the lower portion, like the sculpted in quads and everything, I think that's really well done. It's just like the arms that need to be shrunk down a little bit, in my opinion. I think Ryan's right on the money with that. She actually got pushed back, Big Dog Pound. So unfortunately, that one is, I think, slated for as late as January 24, I believe. So she got pushed back, unfortunately. But Lane, I want to hear your thoughts on this set. I know you've been interested in the Nolan trilogy stuff, so I'm curious to hear what you think about this.
I think this is cool, but I do want to start with, what you gonna do, Bane, when the bad biceps of destruction and the knee brace of doom come for you and run wild on you?
See what you've done, Ryan? See what you've done? You got him on the wrestling train now with this.
Well, I mean, I've been on the wrestling train since I was 7 years old.
Well, I'm talking about when it comes to this Bruce Wayne. He's got you talking about Darth Arms.
But, I love it has a knee brace of doom on it. Like, that's what I've called it ever since the original thing when we see him, like, kick the side of a wall in magically. That makes him even more powerful.
Right.
I think the armor itself, the whole thing looks really cool. I like you guys have already mentioned. I love they have a different Bruce Wayne that's completely different than we've seen before. So I think that helps a little bit selling this set. It still scares me. This thing is only $45, like $50 more than the Carnage, but that's actually
kind of puts it in perspective, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like it's basically two figures, relatively speaking. The head sculpt you guys talk. You know what? This is the vibes I'm getting from it because it looks a little old to me. That
it could be the cheekbones, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the J&D statue, their third scale, the Bruce Wayne sculpt originally looked kind of old. And now this one actually does not look as old as that one did. But like it's the same thing with Bale's face. They looked old a little bit. So, even, some of the other larger scale can run into the same problem. I think it's cool you can stick it on the bat body. Obviously, being an owner of the DX19, it's great. Sorry, severe thunderstorms moving. It looks like into the area.
Don't get electrocuted. Stay with us.
Well, no. The thing is, I have to go through some garbage out here in a minute before it downpours.
That's all right. If you need to take a break, let us know.
Yeah. This will be my thought, and then I'll be back by the time.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
But I'm not going to get this because I already have DX9. That's my Batman. I'm good. I've got him with the Bat Pod. I'm good. I've got Bane already coming. He's on pre-order. I've already got Catwoman paid off for like over a year ago. Unfortunately, she got delayed till Oblivion till like 2024, which I don't understand. But okay.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to use a magic goo or something to make it so her costume doesn't disintegrate. Hopefully,
that'd be nice, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm in an apartment complex there, so I don't have a basement to go to. I think the updates to the suit are cool. I mean, I know when we say DX we kind of complain like, well, why didn't that suit? Well, this is coming out like being made a year and something afterwards. So they've updated stuff to it. So I'm not going to complain about that. The regular DX92 suit looks good to me as is. So it's a very solid rate. Now it's $565.
Yeah, it's expensive.
The only thing that's outdoing that is like, Mark 6 with the gantry. And we all talked about it on the price. I remember we all talked about the pricing on that thing was like, that's an Iron Man in this and blah, blah, blah. We were talking about that at the time too with the pricing. Which I'm a little bit surprised. Maybe it was a little bit cheap. I'm not saying it should be like $500, but like it was $525, maybe, $530 because they're pricing on the figures. So a lot of the other figures have not been, have been, as we commented, not going as much as we thought they were going to go up, and they've actually gone down. But having the purse eyes, this just tell us how purse doesn't mean anything anymore.
We've talked about it. It's kind of watered down at this point. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Lane, I want to ask you, this comment came up from Charles Lee. He said, I understand the Armory came out from the water in the movie, but I would much prefer without the watered glass. He's talking about that dew.
Yeah.
Maybe I could bring the photo up here.
Yeah.
I think that was the photo right there. I mean, I think it looks cool. I kind of dig that. I think it kind of adds to the realism.
I can understand that a little bit, but it's adding to what we talked about earlier in what hottoys. It's adding to the exact recreation from the movie. You know?
For sure.
And at the end of the day, and I mean, honestly, when we talk about that, when we say we want the thing, I mean, like someone just mentioned earlier, they can't win sometimes or can't, either way, the way you go about doing things. Some people would complain it doesn't have that because, hey, when we saw this pop up in the movie, it had, came out of water. So, I mean, either way, people might complain about it. Yeah. I think it adds to the aesthetic. I mean, it's not even something I would necessarily 100% notice so much, honestly, but they included the detail. So that's what I was like. I'd rather them include the detail and kind of go, well, maybe it doesn't, I'd like to see it, clear through or something, but it is accurate to the scene I saw this. So, that ends up being
right. Right. I agree. Gambino, I wanted to say what's up, by the way. I hope you're doing well. Gambino says, I'm having a movie night tonight with my son-in-law. in my new home movie theater. Congrats on that. That's something that I would like to do in my basement eventually. And watching Batman Begins, that's awesome. That's a great movie to break in the home theater. So I won't be here for long, but I wanted to say hi to you fine collectors. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It's great to see you as always, and I hope you have a fun time watching Batman Begins. That's one that I have to rewatch because it's been a little bit before I've done that. Denobi says, I paid $5.25 for the original Armory. I was there, Gandalf. The pricing is fair for this one, trust me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, me personally, I don't think it's overpriced. I think I could see people arguing like maybe by like $20, but at the end of the day, for me, I was the first one to say, and I know Payton23, shout out to Payton. I forgot to say what's up to you when you jumped in, but we were kind of in agreement on this one. I think the pricing is very fair for what you get when you kind of break it down and do the math there. Let's see. We got Collector's Entity in the chat saying, sup, fellas. What's up, Collector's Entity? I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, fair point. I don't think we'll have any issues with that. Of course, I say that, and who knows what's going to happen with the next wave of DeLoreans, but I would hope not. I would hope not. DeGambino with the $2.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, DeGambino. You're always too generous. I very much appreciate you. And once again, very jealous of that home theater, dude, because that's on my list right now. I'm like, once I get my collection in order in the basement, I want to do like a home theater, put a popcorn machine and stuff down there. So very jealous of that. And again, I hope you have a fun time, and I very much appreciate the generosity. Thank you so much. But moving on, CMB, we kind of briefly heard your thoughts, but I saved this part for you because you're the best at breaking stuff down like this. So, CMB, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on these improvements that were made versus the DX19 to what we're seeing here now. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. It shows you that they actually noticed that even though, I like the DX19. I think that it was a superb figure, and for them to, make the changes that they did with the DX19, I didn't have any complaints. I mean, there were little bits of gripes, like you said, with the gloves and whatnot.
Right.
But for them to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate the movie and the suit that they produced with the DX19 and actually give us a more accurate look to the Batman suit shows their attention to detail. Because, I mean, it's the little things that you can notice in it. I mean, with the collarbone area, you can see the difference in the armor pieces, the back shoulder blades, even the belt, the mask where they changed the way the mouth shape is on the mask. So I mean, to me that's great. I know a lot of people, they're complaining, saying that why do I have to get this Armory to get this new suit, or why couldn't they have done this with the DX19 and things like that, or they're just upset that it's a whole nother suit. But my take on that is, wouldn't you be more upset if they issued the Armory and just threw the DX19 in there? You would be more upset saying, "Oh, all you did was rehash the DX19 and give me the Armory with a power pose Bruce Wayne. Why am I giving you $565 for that?" So for them to say, "No, look, let's go back. Let's see what changes we can make with the Batman suit. Let's make it more movie accurate, because obviously there were things we messed up on, and let's deliver that to the collectors."
Yeah.
Yes, it sucked that you have to get another suit and all that. Yes and no. Because you feel like you got burned because you paid for the DX19 and you thought that was going to be the superior suit, and then here they are making changes to give you a more accurate suit. But I think more people would be upset if Hot Toys just threw the DX19 in there without actually doing any changes to the suit. So, I mean, for me personally, I like it, because this shows that they're not rehashing the DX19. They went back to the drawing board, said, "Look, here's the tweaks we need to make on that bat suit," so that way we delivered the collector a new Batman suit with the Armory and with Bruce Wayne, because we're already just giving Bruce Wayne in a power pose as opposed to what we showed them, before with Bruce Wayne in a suit and cane, because that was an articulated figure. So for Hot Toys to say, "Look, if we're going to give them basically a statue Bruce Wayne, let's at least do something different with the suit. Let's make some changes. Let's give it a whole new look, so that way people don't feel like they were just throwing their money away."
Yeah.
And you can tell just from the photos, like the differences aren't even subtle. Like you can notice it right off the bat where the differences are. So this does show the attention to detail in it. Like this one, you see it in the shoulders. You see it in the chest.
The
plate.
proportions, it's like
Yep.
slimmer too in the waist, you know?
Mhm.
Especially from
the
that
shoulders
back.
on the new one, look, they're all broad and squared off. The plating is different.
Yeah, man. And look at the
The
difference in the
belt.
proportions, and like look at how
Look at the
much
belt.
skinnier the waist is. The belt, yeah,
Look at the belt. It's
completely
got the tubes
different. Yeah,
on the back that you see, and the DX19 it doesn't have that. Look at the shoulders; they're squared off. The armor's a lot higher up in the shoulders. You can see the separation between the top shoulder pad and the bottom. The neck. Look at the back of the neck. Big difference right
completely
there.
different. Yeah,
Look at the cowl. The cowl on the DX19 is more squarish looking, whereas the new one, it's got more of that thinner and pointy
Yeah.
look to it. So for me, I was happy, and I'm still happy. Like, I have the DX19. I don't feel like I'm missing out and that I wasted my money.
Me
because
either.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new suit and pull that out and put the DX19 into the Armory.
Yep, me too.
You know?
Me too. I'm going
And
the
then,
same
like,
route.
I know there's Power Pose Bruce Wayne in the workout suit, which I think is awesome. Like, Mr. Mom brought up, it's a different look. How many suited Bruce Waynes do we have? A lot. But what you can do is buy a third-party suit figure, which there's plenty of, like on 1/6 Kit and other vendors, and then take your DX19 head sculpt and put that onto the suit. So now you have a suited Bruce Wayne, workout Bruce Wayne. You have the Batman, new, more movie-accurate bat suit, and then you can put your DX19 suit into the Armory because nobody's going to look at the back of that DX19, and only you and other collectors are going to know the differences between the DX19 and the new suit anyways. So basically, for me, it's a win-win. There's options, and there's things that you can do to, help yourself say, hey, this purchase was worth it. And for me, I think it's awesome. Like, I dig the fact that they went back and they reevaluated the bat suit from the movies and saw where they messed up on the DX19 and where they needed to make the tweaks and the details into the bat suit.
Right, and I use the example real quick. I want to read the super chat, and I'll tell you what I said to Ryan. Jonathan, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And Jonathan has a question for us. I very much appreciate that, by the way. Jonathan says, I have the tumbler and the Armory coming. Do I need the pod?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me...
It's on discount, yes.
Right. At this point, the Bat Pod, it's going in and out of deals, and you can get it for really cheap. Like, I even got mine. I think it was 30% off when I got mine. Yep. There was a special, like, single deal
and I also got free shipping. I got $5 shipping on mine.
Right. So it was dirt cheap. So at that point, I'm like, dude, I got to get it. And some of the people in the chat have commented. I know 12-inch Moose Stream and some others said, well, if you're getting Selena Kyle, yeah, that Bat Pod makes a lot of sense. I would say if you have the room, do you need it? If you want the ultimate display for this trilogy, really, I would say yeah. But if you already have the tumbler, is it a must-have? Not necessarily. It's just like if you want the ultimate Dark Knight display, then yeah, maybe you could say you need it. But I was honestly originally very content with just getting the Bat Pod, and then when I got that super deal on the tumbler, I had to grab it. So. And 8-Bit Flea makes a good point here, too. He says the people complaining, particularly about the upgrades, probably didn't know the DX19 wasn't accurate. And that's the same thing I was saying. It's like, this is, and my thought that I was making, CMB, was I kind of told Ryan, this just reminds me of, like, with consoles, every year, or PC parts. Every year, you're buying stuff knowing that the next year, yours is going to be a little bit slower. It's not going to be as fast as the new product. So it's like, it's kind of the same thought of like Hot Toys is going to innovate, and they're showing that they're willing to go through and update stuff quicker than they typically would. We saw it with the OG Mando as well. That had better articulation on the body. The paint apps were slightly different on the armor. So they've done it before. Again, I agree. I'm also a DX19 owner. I'm not angry about this whatsoever. It doesn't anger me because, again, we've said it. The DX19 is fantastic. It's just now we have a version that's slightly better. They've made some improvements. Hot Toys went back to the drawing board. They're like, can we fix anything now that we're putting out this Armory set instead of putting out the same figure again? I'm all happy for that. If they're going to put it out again, they might as well update it and make it even better. Obviously, we talk about competition and everything like that. Attest that to competition if you want to. I just think Hot Toys is really just stepping up their game. They've shown that this year with a lot of stuff that they're doing, and I think this shows. And it's a welcome change, in my opinion, welcome group of changes. So, yeah, I have no issues with it either, personally.
It's like I told Nate last night on Geeking Out. Smartphone companies will release a new phone without doing any changes every year, and people will buy them every year and not bat an eye. You know, small stupid changes like, oh, we added an extra camera lens, or oh, we added 5 more pixels, or we made it
Yep.
even thinner or even larger, and nobody bats an eye and throws $1,200+ at those phones, no problem.
That's true.
So I mean, this is just hot. Is like it's like one of those things where it's an upgrade, but this is a legit upgrade. I mean, the whole suit has been upgraded. They went back to the movies and saw where they messed up on the DX19, and they're actually giving you, basically, to me, this is a new suit.
It's
Not just
it's
like,
very
oh,
much a
one or two
2.0.
things. Yeah, it's not like they changed. Oh, they changed the cape, or oh, they just changed this. From head to toe, they went back and they made significant changes in the suit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And Monica, you pointed this out to me, I remember, and you just mentioned it again in the chat. Monica even pointed out, like, look at the texture difference on the gloves here. Completely
Yep.
different texture on the gloves. We now have the tucked in, more accurate gloves. Again, this was probably the biggest complaint about the DX19 is people were doing mods and actually like cutting off the bottom of the gloves to get them to fit inside the gauntlet. So it's nice to see that Hot Toys went back to the drawing board and fixed that as well. And I totally agree. They just kind of saw where they could make improvements. I'm laughing because I was reading Stevie Weeby's always dropping the Hot Toys comments here. He says, DX19 ain't accurate. It don't matter. We'll be updating it and re-releasing a new version after these suckers, I guess you meant to say, buy up the DX19. Hot Toys, the king of nickel and dime scheme. I mean, a lot of people I've seen have that sentiment about this, and I respect your opinion. Me personally, it's like, it is what it is, you know. I'm happy with my DX19. This doesn't personally make me angry. Maybe another figure would. Maybe in a different scenario would make me upset. This one in particular, I'm not upset because the DX19 is good. You know, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, because even the DX19 was better than the original.
Oh, yeah. It blew it out of the water. What was the DX12?
Yep.
Blew it out of the water. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be upgrades over time. This one is sooner than some of us like to see, but, you know, it is what it is. And I think, again, it's smart that they went back to the drawing board and upgraded it. Since they knew they were going to be releasing it again, you might as well make some updates. So it is what it is. But moving on, Sean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these updates, on the head sculpt, like just kind of sum up everything that we've talked about here. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on it.
All right. So one thing is a lot of people are excited for this. There's a lot of people that are not. You know, this is an awesome design. This is innovative, specifically with the Power Pose Bruce Wayne. Unfortunately, it comes with a 6.5 at best head sculpt.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of work on that. But just the armory itself it's a well done piece. Now looking on the actual, if you'll just keep it right there. So the difference between the DX19 and this Batman, we don't know what was approved or not. They could have been trying to go with both this version and the DX19 that they had, and they could have said no. DC could have said no, go push this out. It could have been so many different things that we don't really know, because DC could have looked at it and be like, well, how much more is this going to cost? And they could have said, well, it'll cost this much. No, don't do this one now, do this one. And that's what they chose for the DX19. You know, that's a possibility as well. And it could be too that they were working on this and not planning this out. But recently in an interview, Christian Bale said that he was upset that he was never asked to come back and play Batman, and that he still would have come back and played another Batman movie. And then what happens is 4 days later, here's this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think DC came out, or Warner Brothers, and said, hey, that thing Hot Toys is working on, after that interview, we need to push this now. And I think it's more than a coincidence that happened.
It very well
quickly.
could be related, for sure.
So which means, and that could be why they're showing us such a poor head sculpt with it. You know, there's more than enough time for them to go through, make advance, and correct it. But I'm amazed with the Power Pose on this as well. So that's great. The texture on the Armory, as if it's just coming up, having the moisture and the water
The dew, yeah.
and everything on it.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
good.
cool. I like that look. I think it's neat, and like Lane and I were talking about earlier, it adds to the realism for sure.
Yeah, and if you're in love with this thing and you're gonna buy it and you only have DTOFs, it's. I've been telling everyone for years, don't use DTOFs.
Yeah.
This just proves my point.
I know you have. Chris is over there like, no. Hey, we love our
Sorry,
detail
Chris.
collectors. I was one of them. Very recently. It's only been about 6 months, so I'm not gonna shun y'all, but I know the pain, especially now they're getting very expensive. It's crazy, but
It is.
real quick, I wanted to adjust some comments here. Address some comments about the DX19 because it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. The Gambino says that DX19 is an awesome figure and it has presence. I don't feel like they did us wrong by releasing the Armor Batman figure. And yeah, that kind of goes back to what I'm saying. I understand why people are upset, but I don't think they need to be. Now, I had another comment that was kind of on the other side of the argument here. A couple comments, really. Hot Toys Collector says, the updates are good, but obviously they're just trying to milk collectors. Updates are so close to the release of the DX19 is just stupid. I mean, what I always say is I don't want Hot Toys to make this a common thing where it's just all they're doing. Obviously, we all agree with that, right? We all want to see new stuff. But I think this set as a whole is very new. There's a lot to it. It's got USB power. You've got the new sculpted Bruce Wayne. I think this comes with enough different stuff to where, again, it doesn't make me angry. And I don't feel that my DX19 is outdated. The people that are complaining, I think a lot of them feel like that they aren't going to pick up this set. And because of that, and I understand that. Again, I have a bias because I already wanted this Armory. So because I'm getting both, maybe that affects my decision. Maybe that makes me less upset because I'm like, well, I'm already getting them both regardless. But again, I was very happy with the DX19, so it doesn't ruin it for me, Let's see. We got basically Hot Toys has become the Hasbro of 1/6. You guys are crazy, man. Let's see.
That's a little harsh.
It's gonna be fun for Batman fans though, because at the end of the day, if you have like a shelf set up like you and I have, Connor, it's if they release, and I know I think Rax's Prime just made the comment about, if they drop the Batman computer or he's saying Armory from the Flash movie. Yeah, but I'm talking about like the Bat computer from '89, and you get this. If you're a huge Batman fan, you could literally have 2 Batcave setups on your shelf with Batmobiles. You have a computer from '89. You have an Armory from this. Yeah. I mean, how cool is that as a Batman collector? I mean, you knock this all you want, but at the end of the day, in terms of movie representation on your shelf, like that's like, I love dioramas, and this is just gonna be an awesome piece if you're a Batman fan. So it's hard to really,
I agree.
get upset about that.
It's, to me, at the end of the day, it's just good to see that DC collectors are getting some more love, especially recently, because obviously, like, DC collectors have been kind of the bottom of Hot Toys list.
Yeah, and the Flash is going to be your last chance. I mean, so they're going to milk it. I mean, they got to go back into the pit and get a couple things out, because after the Flash, you ain't got nothing else for a few years, unless it's going to be 2.0s.
Yeah, true. TX Boy says, man, I didn't have no DC in my collection, but now thanks to my wife, that's an awesome wife, I get to look forward to this amazing piece. Well, congrats on that, dude. And yeah, especially if you're a collector that doesn't have a DX19, this is probably very welcome for you, And I agree, Matt. I think we are going to get that Bat computer eventually. But guys, I know there's a lot of comments. I want to move on because we're about an hour 40 in. But real quick, Chris, I want to hear your thoughts before we move on. What are your thoughts on this set? And what are your thoughts on kind of the comparison between the DX19 and this new version, MMS 702?
My thoughts on the comparison, for those who didn't pick up the DX19, they'll be happy that, I guess, a more accurate one came out. Those who have it, I could understand why they're upset, on both sides. So you're not forced to buy it. You could always sell DX19 or pick up both, or because it is the different Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. So I totally get both sides. I don't think anybody's wrong. Based on how they feel, whether they think it's so close and stupid. But then again, the Dark Knight stuff, for some reason, it does sell. People love their Joker. People love Batman from, whichever film it comes from. Batman is Batman. Taking it from somebody who's actually not going to pick this up, though, and, doesn't have anything Batman related at all, I think it's pretty cool. I know they came out with that other Armory like Denobi was mentioning, and that was really cool to see in person. So to see this and have like the effects like it came straight out of the film up out of the water, I think that's pretty cool as well. And then as far as his gym fit, instead of, having a suit, I totally agree with that. Like, that's how my brother had him when he had his Batman set.
Right.
It's just always been suit. We've always seen him in suit. And so to see him like that, and plus them doing something new with a fully sculpted body and stuff, we've never really seen something like that. Now I feel like I'm kind of against all of y'all tonight, and I don't know why it just keeps happening. I actually think he looks pretty darn good. Granted, I do agree with the fingers, like looking like they're molded to the bicep there. But to be honest, how many prototypes have we looked at where you like see the paint smudge on something else? Like it's always something, I feel like, with the prototype. So we know it might get fixed. As for the forearms, I think they're not as off as some people may think. Like, they're like a tiny bit bigger, but while you guys have been talking this whole time, I've been looking at screen stills from the movie, and like the bottom one there on the left, he does have 3 separate like muscle, like his muscle tissue that you can see, and it's pretty big, but maybe not as much. It's like, it's hardly off, but the bottom of his forearm lines up with the elbow, just like here. Now, when he unbends his arms and he goes to touch his chin, I was looking at another still, the forearm is smaller. So I don't know if, like you said, Connor, when he's uncrossing, it's smaller, or when you cross, like they flex and whatnot, but it doesn't look that bad to me. And then his cheekbones, they're actually pretty prominent. I do agree with the sweat. He's not sweating in that scene at all. So I don't know why they did that, unless they thought he got splashed with water or something. But
maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
And there could be a little bit of shadowing in these sculpts. It could be the lighting that makes it more prominent. But he does have strong cheekbones in this film, and every still that I've seen. And just looking back and forth at the screen and here, like I totally see Christian Bale in there. So I'm not mad about it, and that's me as an outsider just looking at it as a figure. Like, I'm not an obsessed fan, or so I'm not going to be as critical, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still looking at both sides.
Yeah, well said. I mean, it's always good to have different opinions. Joe P says, if I got this, I'd have it say "Your precious Armory" in Bane's voice every time I walk by. Maybe you can get a little soundboard to play that every time you walk by. But yeah, well said, Chris. Let me see. There's another comment. So Stevie, I pulled this back up for you. This is actually what it comes with. Unfortunately, we don't get that super cool like water tank. Can you imagine if Hot Toys really went crazy and like it had a water tank that dripped water and stuff, kind of like those little ponds that you buy?
Like $700.
Yeah, that'd be pretty expensive, but yeah.
Yeah,
oh yes, guys.
Hulkbuster money now.
That is Hulkbuster money. Real quick, guys, I did drop a poll because we have so many mixed opinions on this. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So vote in that poll. Of course, we'll close it at the end of the stream. But is this a cop or is this a flop to you? I think there's going to be a lot of flops on this one. But go ahead and drop a vote in the poll, guys. I'm very curious. We have a $5 super chat from 12-inch Moose Stream. Thank you so much, as always, Moose Stream. That's very, very kind of you. $5 super chat. Moose Stream says, once Hot Toys fully profits off of the Tumbler, the Bat Pod, expect a Tumbler 3.0 with ejectable Bat Pod announcement. At the very last, at least a battle damage Tumbler. Or even Moose Stream, maybe a camo Tumbler, because they got that Bane coming
reissue.
out. You never know. Yeah, you never know if they're going to do a camo Tumbler.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, exactly. I could see them doing that again for sure. But thank you so much once again, Moose Stream. And Moose Stream, I know you're a big Nolan trilogy guy, so I'm sure you're excited to see some more stuff come from the trilogy. And TX Boy asks, what suit would y'all say is the most iconic from the trilogy? I always thought the Sonar suit scene was pretty sick. I mean, for me, it would be this suit. For a lot of people, that's why everybody was so upset about the Batman Begins suit, because for a lot of people love that Batman Begins suit. So for me, it's this one. But yeah, the Batman Begins suit, I think I've seen a lot of people. And again, that's why they were so angry, because Hot Toys did such a poor job on that figure. A lot of people were very angry. Pigs sweat, humans perspire. Well said. Well said.
Pigs don't sweat.
Let's see. Jonathan, I mean, that's a tough one. I would say probably it will. I don't think this is going to hit in stock. It's one of those things. It's not going to get a lot of pre-orders. It's more of a niche piece. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, TK's asking Monica if the accessories fit into the armory. That's a good question. I'm not sure. But guys, we're going to move on to our next topic. This next one, guys, we're going to watch the video. We're going to have more of an open discussion. We've kind of gone through all of our topics I wanted to hear everybody's thoughts on. So for those of you that don't know, this is not the, I know a lot of people were asking if this is the Return of the Jedi R2 because it kind of caught everybody off guard. No, this is the Attack of the Clones R2. It is actually already released. So we have the Attack of the Clones R2 right here. Very quick release. Kudos to Hot Toys on this one. I know a lot of people right now who haven't paid this off are like, damn it, this is not the right time. And I totally get it.
Especially you got 3 or 4 clones.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because there's other rumors, right? I mean, there was so guys, while we're talking about this R2, there's rumors that also C-3PO and B-1 battle droids are releasing. Now, of course, that is only based on Toys Wonderland sending out an email saying that those figures were ready to be in stock. So we take that with a huge grain of Himalayan pink sea salt. Himalayan pink salt, because
do not trust it.
Right.
It's not. They're not released.
Right.
Yet.
It's a very loose rumor because that's where it's coming from, and we know that's been wrong many times. But I know I wanted to address it because a lot of people are passing that information around. As far as I've seen, there's nothing else proving that they're releasing. No emails from Hong Kong or anything like that. So I wanted to quickly address that before we talk about R2. Yes, I know people are saying that those two have been released or are releasing. There's nothing concrete from Hot Toys that those have been released. So just keep that in mind. As of right now, all we have are the white standard shiny clone, the clone pilot, and this one have been released. So with that being said, taking a look at this, guys, again, we're going to have an open discussion on this one. Monica's saying cap. Yeah, Monica, I think a lot of us kind of got that vibe because the Toys Wonderland emails often are incorrect. So, but yeah, I think this looks great. I think it looks really good. I love the weathering. I know some people really wanted a clean R2, as clean as they could get it. For me, I was very happy to see this. The shining accessory on this for me is the C-3PO head and those rocket boosters. I think those thrusters look amazing. I think this is a great look for R2. And me personally, I'm definitely probably going to have him dragging that C-3PO head behind because I just think it looks great. I love the final product shots. We got like 3 or 4 shots in the Hot Toys post regarding that C-3PO head. I just think it's really cool. I think Hot Toys kind of got a bit of imagination with this one. And really with all of the figures, right? We see C-3PO has the battle droid head. The battle droids have the C-3PO head. So very cool fan service, in my opinion, from Hot Toys. But guys, kind of share your thoughts. And again, this is an open discussion because we're not going to spend too much time on the R2. We're just going to watch this video. What are your guys' thoughts on this R2?
Dude,
It looks great.
Dude, can I say it's literally a fantastic R2. Like, I know if you're talking as far as weathering goes, I would rather have him weathered. I feel like it makes it look more realistic. That's my personal opinion. Like you had mentioned, and I know we've talked about this before, I'm super excited for those thrusters. That's actually how I'm going to display them. But the fact that he comes with that helmet, like you said, is a great option as well. And the fan service, I remember seeing it in the movies and actually seeing all that. Like, it just brings back great memories. So I'm super excited for this one. There's just something about having this droid, seeing him in the film. He's such a badass droid, but there's just something about having an R2 in your collection to where, I don't know, I just find myself always looking at him. For some reason, this droid just fascinates me, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, go ahead.
I was going to say it's R2, man, right? I feel like droids don't often get the respect they deserve as characters because C-3PO and R2, they very much are main characters, in my opinion. I don't consider them secondary characters. They have such a huge role, not only in the films, but also in the cartoons. So for me, these are main, they got main character energy, and I love droids. I'm all for more droids. So I'm kind of with Joe P here, Chris. I know I like to double up on stuff, but Joe P does the same thing as me. It seems like he displays by film. So it's like, yeah, give me all the R2s you can, because I would love to have an R2 in every one of my displays, because I love displaying by film. You guys know that's how I have my stuff laid out. I just love to tell that story in my displays. So I would love to see more R2s for sure.
And he just comes with all of this stuff and all the different accessories, the noise effect, like it's a top tier, like R2. He comes with
his remote to turn on his lights and stuff.
Yeah, like the remote's
really
cool.
That's what I'm saying.
They've done that before. It's very cool. And going along with what you said, Chris, we got a $2 super chat from OG. Thank you so much, OG. It's very kind of you. But OG is saying R2-D2 is the hero of 1,000 devices. R2! I know, like, R2's got the pizza cutter, dude. Who doesn't like the pizza cutter or the little stun attachment that he has? You know, that's
what I'm saying. He comes with more than any R2 we've had.
Yeah, and for Astromechs, dude, like they just have the coolest accessories. They have the coolest gadgets, and we saw a little bit of that in the Mandalorian as well with R5-D4. So this guy looks great. I agree, Chris.
Yeah, you know, spoiler alert, everyone, for Mando, by the way.
And this will be my final thought. You know what you can also do with them, because you have those thrusters, and when you get a super battle droid, you can have them hovering over it like he did in Revenge of the Sith.
Right, lighten the oil. Yeah, I actually remember when this first came out. I said.
Yeah, I think we
old stream, dude. Old stream when this was first announced. One of our first ones. But I mentioned I want to get some like sculpted fire pieces to put around him, like he's lighting the super battle droids on fire.
You had to remind the one scene that like undid the super battle droids for being the smashing machines they had been.
Well, because they're messing with the goat lane. They're messing with R2.
Well, hey, look at this that. Way. If you get this, you can get this, and you get that R5. You can do droid death battle. R5 versus R2. Unfortunately, we know who all is going to win that battle. But man, I love the jump jets and everything like that with this for R2. It's just such a cool figure. I mean, there's not a ton you can say about it necessarily, because there have been some other R2s, and you know he's got what articulation he's got because he's a small cylindrical, giant trash can. Sort of, in his look and stuff, unless they had like a little Kenny Baker inside it.
That would be cool.
Yeah. They did that with the Tamashii Nation store. You could have Kenny Baker's like legs.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's
but
clever.
It's I mean, for the price point and everything like that for this guy, I mean, unfortunately, he's pretty much gone. I'm sure you'll be able to find him possibly still in some places, especially now that he's coming out so soon. I wouldn't be surprised if some wait list stuff.
Like cancellations and stuff, because that's the thing, Lane. A lot of people are probably going to cancel because this is catching a lot of people off guard, and that's rightfully so.
And there might be a Return of the Jedi one.
Yeah,
that may be one of the reasons. I mean, conspiracy theory that there might, when they're trying to figure out just what they're going to put out for Return of the Jedi, because they've already put out, a lot of the characters from it already over the last couple of years. R2 is they're already doing the C-3PO. They almost like have to put out a Return of the Jedi, R2-D2. Maybe they could do a blast effect or something like that. But I'm not sure too much what else they could do different.
Like I said, for me, we've talked about it. We want the serving tray. We want to be able to eject Luke's lightsaber. That stuff is like obvious for Return of the Jedi. And real quick, Andreas, as I always say, you're never late. You're always on time. So it's great to have you here as always. I hope you're doing well. And it's funny, guys. A lot of people are talking about Chopper. I agree. Stevie Weeby said, just wait till we get Chopper. Yeah, we're not going to get into Ahsoka right now, but I agree, dude. Like Chopper's just... He's got so much character to him. It's such a cool looking astromech too. So I'm excited to get an opportunity to get a 6-scale Chopper, because right now I just have a like die cast Hasbro one in my collection. So
don't forget he's got a kill count of 50,000.
That's true. He's the GOAT, man. I can't wait, dude. So again, I don't want to get into Ahsoka because we have more stuff to talk about. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool announcements from the Ahsoka show for sure.
We hope.
This R2 is going to make Hot Toys great again.
Oh, yeah. Monica over here calling you Donald Trump. Hashtag dude.
I'll take it.
Yeah. This is cool, man.
I like mocking.
This is really cool, though. Did anyone have any additional thoughts on R2 before we move on? Again, I think they did a great job. They really delivered what we saw in the final product photos, and it was a quick release, right? I mean, pretty quick from Hot Toys, and it caught a lot of us off guard, Brian, did you have any
Pretty
thoughts?
sure we're gonna get a Return of the
I
Jedi.
think it's great. I mean, my opinions haven't changed on it. I think it looks awesome. I'm not getting it because I'm waiting for the Return of the Jedi, but I think it's fantastic. I mean, I love the light up. Is this USB by chance? It's battery powered, right?
It's battery powered. This is again with the
Wouldn't you
inconsistencies.
remove that
of
dome? Like that's exactly where the batteries are. Yeah, it's got a little
it's
tube.
awesome. I mean, absolutely love it. I mean, it's you know what I like about it is that it's not as weathered as I thought it was going to be. Like the C-3PO it's way too weathered for what it is for my taste. As I know, I prefer the Return of the Jedi version. I think it was awesome. Like it comes with a crap ton of accessories, multiple ways to pose it, and it could fit into different variations of your collection. Honestly, so it's a home run. It's just that for me, I don't need like 2 or 3 of them just because I just want to pick 1 or 2 specific, and I would prefer to have an original trilogy version over this one. But I'm nothing negative to say about it, just personal preference. But it looks awesome for those who are getting it, and like you said, very, very, very surprisingly quick turnaround.
Yeah, and we can't complain about that, especially if the product looks good. You know, I mean, kudos to Hot Toys on this one because it was very quick, and I know it's not like drastically different. They've done 2 R2s in the past, so. Keep that in mind.
The legs
but,
are completely different, though.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some parts they were able to reuse, other parts where they had to change. So regardless, it is a very impressive turnaround time. And again, I love this right here. This is all me, dude. It's so clever. Jonathan said he likes the remote and sound. That's a cherry on top. Yeah, it's really cool. I have the original trilogy R2, the deluxe. And it's clever. I like all the stuff that they included with that one, but the remote is really cool. It's a cool little unique function, you know? And I think it makes a lot more sense than the lights and sounds that they did on the Vader, the A New Hope Vader release.
I was about to say, didn't they do it with him too?
Yeah, that was rough. That one was stupid.
Yeah,
they could hold
sometimes didn't even work.
Yes, OG, you've got a lot of carbon scoring here. Looks like you boys have seen a lot of action. Yeah, they need to go to that droid spa, right, and get cleaned up. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think it looks great. Totally agree with everyone on the panel. We're going to move on to another, I was kind of surprised by it. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of surprised by this. We got a tease of a new Grogu from Hot Toys. And guys, this is a 1-to-1 scale Grogu. For those in the chat that don't know, this is a 1-to-1 scale Grogu with a pram. Again, open discussion on this one. Yeah. This one's really cool, and I think, Sean, we can assume on this one we're going to get the chainmail, we're going to get the armor plate underneath. I imagine it's going to be very similar to the previous Hot Toys Grogu. Maybe they'll make some changes. I know the feet were a bit oversized on that version. Maybe they'll make some changes there. If not, I think if they gave us the exact same thing with the additional armor, I think people would be happy. But how cool is this pram? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm imagining putting this in the corner of my room, just having him floating in the pram. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Like, that's incredible.
I agree.
This is a
I
cool
hope I can
release.
plug it in.
It has to be, it has to be like AC, DC adapter powered.
Yeah, it's going to be. With it being that large, it's going to be a plug-in.
Or maybe it takes a whole bunch of D batteries or something.
I've actually been wanting a
Sean, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm sorry, I'm just being realistic.
Like the DeLorean,
I was like, I'm going to give you this great product, but we're going to give you D batteries too.
I've been wanting a 1-to-1 Grogu, whether it was a Sideshow or the Hot Toys. So I'm glad I just haven't gotten around to it. And now
they're going to give it a button like the DeLorean, so you have to press a button to turn it on, and it doesn't hook into your Wi-Fi system. So basically, that's what it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
And it's going to crack too.
Anybody know how much he's going to be?
It's going to crack. So Moose Stream says $400. Moose Stream, is that your? I think it's going to be more than that.
It's going to be more than that.
Yeah, because if it's $400, that's a steal.
How much was the other one?
The original Grogu was like $405.
$385, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking $650 minimum on this one.
Yeah, because you got to.
I'll go between $600 and $750, depending on what type of material they use for the base to make it hover. You know, along with the lighting. If there's a top that comes with it,
you better give me a nameplate or something.
I can't get this though. If I get this and put it in my room, my daughter's gonna try to climb into it and sit in it.
Which, I mean,
this is a one because if it's 1-to-1 scale and you have the Grogu life size already from Hot Toys, this thing is going to be huge. It's basically a baby in a baby car seat.
Yeah.
Right. Like, guys, let me
I'll put it in my car.
That's going to be like the size. So you're looking at like
Look,
anywhere from low balling
Just grab them by the neck.
650. That's lowballing, but I'm thinking you're gonna go. I'm thinking somewhere close to Hulkbuster money.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive. And guys, just to show you the scale, this is obviously the sideshow one, but I mean, look how he absolutely dwarfs this Vito Corleone here. So it's with the Pram guy, it's going to be a
What
big
weird
piece.
flex.
God, man, you know that tells me how big Carnage must be. Like that guy's maybe taller.
True, because I
than
have
the less size.
the 1-to-1 Hot Toys Grogu, and I had him displayed next to my Star Wars Mythos statues, and he's shy of maybe an inch or two from the statue. So I mean, that just shows you how big the 1-to-1 is. And then you imagine the Pram. Like the Pram is basically literally a baby car seat.
I know. You know what some people are gonna do? Some people are gonna 3D print an IG-12.
No,
Stevie just gave me an idea.
Here.
No.
Hey, Connor, you want to put my camera on and I can show mine?
Look how handsome
life
Sean
size.
is, guys.
Yeah, I know. He's super handsome.
We don't want to see Grogu. We want to see you.
There he is.
Oh,
There's the
wow.
Hot Toys Grogu, guys.
Isn't he so cute?
He is.
You know, would it have made more sense, during one of those scenes with Grogu in the last episode, maybe him having the Bram instead? The specific one. I don't want to spoil it from it.
Lane, we're treading the line, dude. We can't tread the line.
Yeah.
Sean already kind of caught me on it earlier. I didn't say anything, but Sean kind of caught me on it earlier. But yeah, Sean, thank you for showing that because yeah, guys, I mean that's what you can expect. I mean they're fairly large pieces, but this is all me. and Moosestream, a lot of people are saying that, and you can see all the merchandising and stuff they're doing for Grogu. It happens, unfortunately,
I
but
see what he did there. Forcing.
yeah. Oh, Moosestream, we see what you did there, dude. Yeah, that's clever, man.
Wow.
That's clever. Really
God,
tear
dude.
apart and laugh at. Like, number one, this isn't good either.
Dude,
I mean,
who
this
is...
All right, I mean,
Okay, here we go. I'm going Corleone.
man, this is the one I
Man,
expected.
who did
to
even
tear
freaking
apart.
post this?
Go to the
Go-
extra
go-
face.
Go to the teeth one.
My lord, boy, what is that?
Oh,
It
man.
looks like Trevor.
Dude, I have that face when I've ate too much Mexican and I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah, Cigar's
Dude, I
pointing
didn't
out
know
this
they had
looks
the
like
Pedro Pascal on toilet face for this.
I don't know
Hey,
what
does
this
not-
is.
Tell
It's
me that
Pablo
angry
Pascal.
face does not look like Wario. That
Dude,
angry
it's
face
spot
straight
on.
up looks like Wario.
I mean, what the hell, man? What were they thinking? No, yeah, TK.
thinking-
Yeah, this is
they were
not Sideshow.
Oh, you know what? I know what this
They
head
did
sculpt is
Wario.
now. I know what this is.
It's
When
Andrew
John
Pascal.
Favreau said, Pedro, you're not going to be in the costume.
Right, you're
for
not taking
season
your
3
helmet
of
off.
Mando. You're not taking your helmet off. And this is the look that he had when he walked out.
My lord, God, Schnoz Pascal. I don't know
What's
who this
worse?
is, man.
That people are actually going to buy this thing.
I know. I mean, so guys, this is CC Toys for those that don't know. That's who produced this figure. I think they were the ones that actually did those the video game versions that are pretty expensive. But the thing is, the comment I made about this, maybe they're able to take like a scan from the models that are available online for those. Obviously, with these, they have to actually sculpt or have someone sculpt them. So I think both of the sculpts, like to be fair, I mean, is this one like the worst sculpt I've ever seen? No, but it's still weak. There's better options, both from Toys era and the one that Mars Toy showed off. Like, but this, man, you
That
lose
one is
me
the
with this
worst.
one.
CC stands for
Look at
Can't
that.
Create.
Mario, I get you. You steal my mushroom.
Looks like one of the Bollywood action stars. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Wario Pascal, you are not the father. Yeah, that's the face they have when they get the bad news right there. Man, yeah, this is rough. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but this one is really rough. Moving on to the next one that I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on that I personally thought was rough as well. Was this quarter scale third party Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Woof.
I mean, at least it's not Matt
I don't
Damon,
think
man.
it's that bad.
It's not terrible, but it's definitely.
Who was that actor I sent to you that I said it looked like Brandon, like Kanon?
I
How
don't.
much is this
Yeah,
thing?
Because it looks more like
I don't-
him. Right
isn't
there,
a-
that looks like
I can
Leonardo
still see Ewan
DiCaprio.
McGregor.
That looks like
He's in
Leonardo
there, but-
DiCaprio with a beard.
Hey, quick, put up the meme where he's like, Leo's like putting his hand. He's like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pointing at the
Yeah.
screen. So I just checked the price of 1/6 kit. This is $298, guys. $298.
And this is a quarter scale.
This is a
Not
quarter
bad
scale,
for
yes.
quarter scale.
One Kenobi.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris.
That looks like Leonardo DiCaprio.
They would have been. If it would have
Leonardo
this company,
in there,
it would have been smarter if they
at
just
all.
did like a quarter scale clone.
I still see you, and it looks like a larger recast of
Well, that's right,
the Revenge
Chris.
of the Sith one.
That is what this is, but I think in the upscaling, it kind of bloated the face a little bit. I mean, it's certainly that is what it is. It's very much
The hair looks
recast.
Like
cool.
Leonardo
off, too.
DiCaprio.
The hairline.
I'm
yeah.
gonna call him.
Yeah,
Kennedy
it's
Kenobi.
definitely the hair so, but like from the beard,
The
it's like I can
forehead
still
is
see
off.
Ewan McGregor in there.
I think Chris is
Yeah.
getting this. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, Chris already has it on pre-order. He
No,
told me
I'm
he wasn't
definitely
getting it.
not
I don't
getting
believe him.
this.
Yeah, just like how he has.
But I know
Carnage on
somebody
pre-order, too.
who probably is.
Not me.
Leonardo-
I'm
that's
certainly not.
Leonardo
getting this.
DiCaprio cosplaying as Obi-Wan.
Well, I mean, come on now. When you have Violet talking crap about it, that just says something. By the way, Violet, it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Violet says it looks like Michael Shannon. Wow.
Oh, it does. She's right.
Yes, it does. Looks like yes, it does.
And guys, yeah, I love the photoshopped lightsaber here. Love that.
Yeah. Wonder how.
It's like General. It's like General Zod. You know, just grew out his hair.
All I
Yeah.
can say is I don't trust these third-party Star Wars like picks.
Oh no,
'cause it
Chris, we
never
already know
ends
you
up
bought the
looking
chosen
like-
one. You bought the
Yeah,
chosen
but
one, so
even that, it never looks like
you
what.
sure
it's
trusted
supposed
that
to.
one apparently with that horrible hair. But yeah, it's rough, man. And
I don't have
Equan,
Darkseid.
I think it's untapped. I think that's why Equan. I think that's why they went with that. It's just untapped. I think that's why they went for it. He says he's looking for the six-figured man who killed his father. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's very rough. I mean, again, I just wanted to show it to you all. It's very obvious that they kind of upscaled the 6-scale Hot Toys version, and this is what they gave us. But if you're a quarter-scale fan, we don't get a lot of those, so this may excite you. Just not for me. Not for me. If I were to make my entry into quarter
those
scale, it wouldn't be with
boots.
this one.
Look at those boots.
It looks like as much of a nightmare as the Hot Toys ones are with that really
Yeah,
thin
you
design.
pick up those-
Warrior.
The boots look like they came from Shoe Carnival.
They probably don't even
What an
come on the
accessory.
figure. You're gonna spend like half an hour putting each one on.
Honestly, this makes me.
They're like,
think
it's
of
too
the-
difficult to put these on. The customers can do it.
I don't
makes
think
me-
this one's gonna be that bad. At least it's not rooted hair like the Karen.
This is the Obi-Wan Kenobi you would have got if he was in the Ice Pirates instead of Star Wars.
Yeah, something like that, Lane. I don't know about this one, but again, I understand if you guys collect quarter scale stuff, you
I'm
don't
just
see a
picking up
lot
two
of it.
these.
Chris, I'm gonna kill you. I'm not grabbing this one.
Why are you
And
so
8-bit flea too. Santa. No, yeah, the cosmic warrior. Watch out for the cosmic warrior. 2 W's. Oh, sorry, Warnier. Yes, I didn't even.
That's what I'm saying. Warning.
Warniers come out. Yeah, I didn't even notice that, dude. Warnier. That's funny. Looks
Maybe
better
the
than Wario
Cosmic
Pass.
Warrior was already taken.
Yeah, maybe
I'll
Cosmic
give that
Warrior
to
was
8-bit Flea. It
trademarked.
does look way better than Wario.
That's true.
So is this lightsaber going to be powered up, or is it just?
This is
It's
what it
probably
actually
gonna
looks like
be
here,
like
Sean. This is
it's
it right
probably
here.
gonna separate
That's what
like
I
the
thought.
shitty.
No, it's literally right here, Chris. Look, like I said, it's fully
Yeah,
photoshopped.
it's
It's
not
already
powered up.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
it's still
battery
my.
to it.
So they did that with that third-party chosen one, where it looked like a good hilt, and then when you got it in hand, you could separate it. Like it was. It's
This,
the
I mean-
ugliest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's got
I
those little
don't
like
think-
rechargeable little cells in it. I saw.
Yeah, and
it's
it's a
rough.
pain, bro. It
Rough.
is a pain.
But yeah, the last
I'll
thing I
probably
wanted.
do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, again, I understand it as we move on to our final discussion here. I understand it. I just think that it's just not worth the price, in my opinion. It looks a little cheap to me, but I just wanted to say, guys, how random is this announcement, right? This is.
Wolf.
I know this reminds me of. Remember they announced the Steppenwolf, the first Steppenwolf that was announced. It's like, why the hell did they do the first version of Steppenwolf? I'm as puzzled by that as I am with this announcement here. And not only that, like,
2016.
What the f is that? I
who
agree.
hurt this guy's feelings is what I want to know. Like, what the
I know,
hell?
right?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, got an issue? Here's a tissue.
Right, Monica said it looks like a fish. It does, dude. It reminds me of
does
like
not look like an alternative to getting our Oscar Wilde like Poe Dameron or something like that. This thing.
Can you
I
just
know.
turn it off? Can you
The
just
base
click
of
off?
skulls looks
that's what I was
but
gonna say.
that's
The coolest
about
thing
it.
is the base, dude. I would love that base for something else. Like imagine like that for like a Terminator display with the T800 endoskeleton.
Losing viewership to this crap. Get it off the screen.
We're gonna look at the base. We're just gonna look at the base and we can move on. The base is cool. We'll say that, guys. The base is cool.
So, Chris, you're getting this, right?
Chris is picking this up.
Oh, I'm picking up 3, bro.
With the X, you
Of
could
course.
like
Pocket
put,
Dameron. I love that. Yeah, no one asked for this at all.
Please,
This is so random.
Yeah, I
So
never
random.
buy duplicates,
Wolverine.
but this one getting 3.
I know, right?
base and then put the Hot Toys Wolverine on it. Yeah,
That'd be cool too.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's got the big
it's got the
X on it.
X-Men logo.
Just
Yeah,
pick up a base from Toy Anxiety if there's someone.
For
That's what I'm
real, so
saying.
you
That's
would
what I'm gonna
spend
do.
all that to get just the base.
yeah, it's
Go to
rough,
Toy
dude.
Anxiety and just get the base itself. I don't need that stupid ass figure.
And this
That was
character
the
was
dumbest
lame too.
representation of Apocalypse ever.
So lame. Yeah, it was very lame. I mean, the whole film was kind of lame to me, but
Yeah, the whole film was retarded.
yeah, yeah, that'd be cool for Morbius. I mean, that would work. I mean, yeah. Although Morbius does come with one of the cooler bases. I love that base with the bats. And we're not going to get into Morbius. 3, 1 to break, another to trash, another to break. Yeah, yeah, great decision there. Well, money well spent, right? Someone's got to do that now. But
Guarantee
guys,
you, like there's gonna be those rage companies, where you go in those rage rooms and break
right?
shit.
The rage room. They're going to have a bunch of those
have
figures.
a bunch of those 6-scale figures. for you
Or
to
if
break.
you're Harrison Ford, it's going to be a New Hope Han Solo figure. That's what it's going to be for him.
You know what, though,
but yeah,
with that
Rage room,
apocalypse, the best
it's gonna
thing that
be
you
full
can
of the
do,
Warriors.
the best thing you could do is if you don't like it, go on eBay, go order one of those like Obi-Wan Kenobi or Qui-Gon Jinn robes for Jedi. Put it over it and just put it as a background character and maybe paint it, make it look like some type of alien from Star Wars and call it good.
Yeah,
Roll
Sean,
out for
don't
that
follow
crappy
Sean's
figure.
advice on that one. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm saying if you buy it and you
Yeah.
regret it,
To
that's an
cover up
option
the
you have.
ugly. That's true. Cover up the ugly. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I know it was a long-winded stream. There was a lot of news this week. Thank you so much for everybody that stuck with us. Had a great time. Some awesome stuff to talk about this week. Thank you so much for being here. As always, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream, please, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this stream. I very much would appreciate it. And thank you so much, Some Guy, for dropping all the links in the chat to the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. Head on over there, guys. We'll be doing a giveaway there soon. Also, guys, if you haven't already, we do still have the giveaway going on. So if you haven't entered already, you have a little bit of time left. So please enter the giveaway. Give yourself a chance to win 5 great prizes. So definitely head on over to the video. And once again, guys, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much for all the generous donations. I very much appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us. I really do appreciate you guys coming here every week and spending your Thursday evenings with us. Real quickly, we're going to say goodbye to everybody on the panel, see what they got going on. Ryan, I know you got streams going on now. For those of you that don't know, guys, Ryan is doing a regular stream every Sunday now at 8:15 p.m. EST. So if you haven't already, head on over to Ryan's channel, especially if you're bored on a Sunday. Not a lot of people stream on Sundays. It's a great time to get your stream watching in on a Sunday. So apart from that, Ryan, do you have any other videos planned or anything like that?
Yeah, like I said, I have the stream, Sunday at 8:15, going to talk about a couple things, talk about Mando and things like that. I got a video. I don't have any videos filming this week. And then the biggest thing that I have, I guess I could say, because it's locked in, Thursday, this upcoming Thursday at 12 p.m., I'm doing a different stream. It's actually kind of like a conversation and an interview. If anyone is a Batman 1989 fan, like I am, I actually locked in an interview with this gentleman named Carl Newman, who was actually Michael Keaton's movement double from Batman 1989, and he was actually arguably in the suit more than Michael Keaton was. All the scenes in the movie were walking around, things like that were him. And I actually became friends with him on Instagram, and he actually wants to have like an interview. So I'll be doing that Thursday at 12 p.m. It's a little bit off time from what I normally stream, but if anyone's interested, I'll put the links up. It's on my YouTube channel already, so you can like kind of bookmark it or whatever. But Thursday at 12 p.m. will be the next, that's kind of like an interview conversation. So that's like, I'm really excited for that. So if you're a Batman 1989 fan, that might be something interesting to check out. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, guys, links in the description as always for Ryan's channel. And Stevie, thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. Everybody else saying thank you for the stream. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, JB. I very much appreciate it. Big Dog Pound, Violet, Payton. I'm just scrolling down. Of course, thank you so much to our wonderful moderators, Insane One, Some Guy, OG Fan, Matt. Thank you so much, guys, as always, for dedicating your time to the stream. We very much appreciate you all being here. And Some Guy, thank you for reminding us to check out 1/6 Kit, guys. I do have a $10 off coupon code for your first purchase of $100 or more. Check out 1/6 Kit. Use code Hotline, guys. And also in the description as well, I think I might have this pulled up here. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Here it is. Off the Racks, guys. $15 off for your purchase at Off the Racks. Use code HTH. So if you want to save money there, the links are in the description to both of those websites. But again, thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. Lane, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and sharing your knowledge and sharing your opinions on things. We very much appreciate you being here, whether it's crazy or not sometimes, Lane.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you stretch the credibility of the word knowledge in me.
I'm feeling nice tonight, Lane. I'm feeling a little nice, might as well. But yes, you could see legendary Lane Kramer everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Just popping up like clones, man.
Everywhere.
Chris, the Collecting Madness. Chris, number one, thank you so much for being here as always. Thanks for hanging out with us and sharing your thoughts and opinions on things. Do you have anything new going on the channel?
Yeah, so thanks as always, Connor, for having me.
Of course.
Love Thursdays. This one was a bit of a wild one, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Always love the chat, so thank you all for showing up. As far as what's new on my channel, I have the this Lola droid, so I upgraded. If you remember the other one, I had the interactive version.
Right.
This one is the animatronic version. And if I turn her on, she won't shut up. So I'll do it after before I stop talking. But I have a goal of 750 now. So we reached over 600. So appreciate all of y'all who are watching, who are subscribed, and anyone new. Please consider doing so. I do whole bunch of crazy stuff on there. Just anything I get into the collection, I basically document it, whether it's Marvel, WWE, Star Wars, what have you. So that's it.
Yeah, and guys, please go subscribe to Collecting Madness. We're trying to get him to 1,000. He very much deserves it. Chris is putting out very consistent content, a little bit of everything, like he said, whether you like wrestling figures, 6 scale. Chris just kind of films stuff that he likes, and it's really cool to check out all the different diverse content. So definitely give him a subscribe. I think it'll be well worth your time.
I'm going to get her to flop real quick, see if she does.
And real quick, Kumar says, I'm late again. Oh, look, there he goes. That's really cool. And by the way, guys, that's on sale on Amazon for like $37. Normally like, what, $80? So if it's something you're interested in, it's on sale right now. But Kumar, you're never late, dude. You're always on time. Like I always tell you, it's great to have you here. Kumar says, I'll catch up as normal on the channel. All the best to you. Well, I hope you have a great night, Kumar, and thank you so much for being here and checking in with us. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean, as always, thank you so much for being here and sharing your expert opinions on things and your humor and cutting me off towards the end of the stream so I can't end on time with your little jokes and your antics. Thank you so much for being here, Sean, as always. It's great to have you. What do you got going on the channel, Sean?
So Luke shipped today from Mando.
Nice, yeah, for me as well.
So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully things are settling down for me so I can finish getting my basement set up and making that video for the collection and everything, along with doing more videos coming out. Everything's been kind of on pause with stuff going on, but to show you a quick look here of what's a little bit different.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. It looks clean, dude. It looks real clean.
Thank you.
Dude, look at that shot right behind him, though. It's like,
Dude,
his display is it's incredible.
Yeah, I think Sean said that like a Guinness World Records person's coming out to his house for like the record amount of Hot Toys Troopers in one display case. So I think that's happening soon, right, Sean?
I don't know.
He's definitely
it's
gonna win
Thursday.
a record
It's
for
Thursday.
most
It's too
paparazzi.
early to
Billy
tell, dude.
cases.
Good night,
Winning for most
Equan.
Billy cases.
Yeah, that's true.
The most Billy cases in one basement. I think they're going to be coming out soon for that.
You know, it's like people keep saying, like, yeah, I'm outgrowing this room. I'm like, I really hope I don't outgrow this room.
At that point, that's when you retire.
Yeah, if you do, that's pretty
Crap.
sad.
No,
Sorry,
it's-
Lane. Sorry, Lane. I didn't see you got pushed out. My bad.
Lane's back.
Yeah, no, I had a power surge.
Oh, no. Well, thanks for coming back in. I apologize. I didn't see you get back in there. Sean, we got one final question for you before we end out.
Okay.
Big Dog Pan asked, nice basement, bro. Did you do any renovations to it?
So when I actually bought my house in 2017, the basement wasn't even done. So I did all the work. I did the framing, everything except for electrical, and I wasn't going to do that. And I had the electrician set up to where I have more than I have multiple plugs across the room, and the top plug is set up where I can use a switch to turn my entire displays on and have everything plugged in. There's all I have to do is come down the stairs. If I want my overlights on, I flip one switch. If I want my display lights on, I flip another. And everything comes on that way. So, but yeah, I did everything, including around my windows, my ceiling. So specifically on my ceiling here, like this is one part. This is where my air ducts are. So you can see how big my air ducts are. And then my normal ceiling is this. And I had to put each board in individually.
It looks like you can walk on your ceiling. It looks like you have a floor on your ceiling.
Well, I got the idea because when I lived in Vermont, I lived on a farm. And then you can see what I'm doing here. With all the Hasbro
Carded
figures there.
figures. Yeah, that's cool.
I lived on a farm, and I kind of got the idea from thinking about a bridge that I went to, and I went underneath it and seeing that, and I kind of got the idea of how to do my ceiling from that.
Yeah, it's definitely very unique looking. It's cool, man. I dig it. But yeah, Sean, one more comment, and we're gonna end out the stream. Stevie says so many figures, but where was the WD-40? Oh,
the WD-40 was freaking spray, dude.
Hell no, it was not. I don't believe you for a
Yes,
second.
it was.
You got some expired WD-40, guys. We're gonna
just
do
like your beard is real, right?
Oh my god. Now you're gonna get that one guy that always comments on my mustache. He's gonna show up in the chat somewhere somehow. Good, there you go, Sean.
Dude, yeah, it's gonna go from B's mustache to Connor's.
Yeah, the dude. He says, "I love your stream, but why do you have a fake mustache?" I forgot his name. He always says nice stuff about all my content, so I'll take the heat for the mustache. But guys, that's gonna close it out for tonight. Once again, thank you so much to each and every one of you. If you weren't individually named, just know that we love you and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Sean is always a good sport. Yeah, and not WD-40 at all. Oilers, okay, when we're talking about mustaches, this man has the real mustache. That man has the real mustache. That's the mustache if I've ever seen one. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Once again, check out Ryan on Sunday. Check out his 8:15 stream. But that's all we got for you guys. Have a good one, and we will see you next time.
Remember,